You know,
Someone's shirt is too tight. Introducing today's guest, Paul. Just I was talking to you.
My shirt is not tight.
We went over this.
Okay, it's not as much tight. It's just short.
And a little tight in the pectoral area. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
the upper torso.
Oh, that's what I want. That's what I'm going after.
You're going.
So you do admit it's tight.
Oh, you
Yeah,
do.
It's not
That's why-
tight. It's a little fitting up top.
That's
No.
why he wore it though. He was like, my pecs. I feel like I'm seeing a little bit of a difference here. Maybe if this duck shirt works out.
Well, Damien, what do you got going on in your pants?
Yeah, David's
I wear
pants.
skinny jeans. That's a style. Tight shirt is not a style.
Showing your nuts off is not a style.
Depends.
I mean, I guess it depends which room of the house you're in, but bedroom, okay.
Speaking of molasses,
Yeah.
you guys heard about that molasses flood?
What?
Wait, is this it?
No, it was serious. It was like long time ago. Like a molasses tank broke and it like killed like 30 people.
Wait.
Just a wave of molasses going down the street. Just
They didn't have time to run?
I don't know.
Or did they
not
like
run
go to a school like Prometheus where they run away from things, where you got this big tall thing falling down, but instead of just running to the left or right, you keep running it down.
It was probably it was called like the Great Molasses Flood of whatever year it was.
Oh, never forget, man.
Dude, I don't know. I feel like you could just outrun that.
I mean, probably.
I'm not gonna lie.
Molasses doesn't go that fast, does it?
Right, but I mean thousands of gallons might.
I mean, still, how fast can it
Maybe
really
if it's
go?
falling off a cliff.
Yeah, look this up here because I want to. I mean, there's because now I'm thinking of ridiculous things that happen.
It's not ridiculous.
Well,
it's the Great
pretty ridiculous. People dying by molasses is
The
pretty
Great
ridiculous.
Molasses Flood of 1919. The
Oh, so
infamous
that's a
molasses
long-
flood in
Oh,
Boston
almost 100 years ago.
was a tragedy like no other.
Well,
2.3 million gallons of molasses through the streets of Boston.
That's actually kind of.
That's a
where
lot
did
of
that come
gallons.
from? Did
Like a molasses factory.
oh, I thought you said a truck. I was
Yeah,
like,
Yeah.
yeah. Didn't you say
I
truck?
said tank.
Oh,
21
what? That's like the same thing. If I hear tank,
Oh
I'm
my
like,
god, 21 people were killed and 150
Ow.
were injured in its path of destruction.
rip in peace, man.
Well, it's heavy, so I bet it like toppled buildings.
So there's like a tsunami almost type factor.
I'm
Like,
just imagining
I would
the
assume.
day after tomorrow kind of way.
dude, that's gotta be so sticky. That's gotta be so sticky to
How did
clean
they
up.
clean
I
it
know.
up?
Mops.
I can't believe it.
You
There's
just
molasses
what do
pressure
you
wash.
what do you use molasses in food wise? Like, what can you make with it? Because then you just use that molasses there.
like
So you just make a big version. Like if it's a cake or something, and then there's something wrong with the flour factory, you just build a cake with that, just right there.
I've only used it in like dark bread, like
I've never
Irish
used
bread.
it at all. I mean, I've been in.
I've seen it. Like my mom's had it in, and I'm like, "What are you using this for?" She's like, "Oh, I didn't know we still have it." It's like,
It's one of those things you buy for one recipe and it sits forever.
yeah, that's like over half of like our spice, everything like that. It's
Yeah.
Molasses is one of those things I've never used, but I've been insulted. You know, like when you're running slow and your coach is like, "You're moving slower than molasses," and
so then
Oh.
those people who died there,
yeah,
We're
they're running
just
slow.
they couldn't have been moving
Well,
in the
have
first
you seen
place.
those videos of people running like in track in 1919 or whenever you saw it, and it's like they look a lot slower than when today.
So is that why what's his name, Jesse Owens, just ran right past him and stuff?
Maybe Jesse Owens is that time traveler.
that time traveler David was talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Jesse Owens though?
I mean, maybe. He runs like a modern
It's
day
because
man.
he's, you know.
American, yes, I do know.
American.
Okay, so they used steam from fireboats and salt water to cut the molasses. And make
To
it
cut
like,
it?
yeah, like
Interesting.
cut through it, like
Hmm.
yeah, you know the term cut.
Could you imagine? I just imagine you're driving down the highway and you're like, "There's a flood of molasses behind you." When can you ever say that? I want to see that one.
You can
day.
say it in 1919
I
in
wish I was
Boston.
there. I wish I was like up on a cliff just watching. You know.
No.
Hmm.
No. There's I forgot what it's called. In Australia there was some like great the Emu War, the Great Emu War. Have you heard of that? Look it up. Yeah, it's
What
yeah.
is that?
Yeah.
Wait,
So like that-
before we get too
Oh.
off topic, this injured 150 people and killed 21. I think we need molasses control.
Oh, we definitely do. It's
Molasses control?
I mean, maybe that's why it doesn't happen anymore. Maybe there is molasses control.
I mean,
It hasn't happened in a long
it's
time.
possible.
That's a division of the FBI deep in the basement, like the losers get sent to.
All of us get texts on our phones. FBI, stay right there. Oh man, those memes get me every time.
I mean, they're an effective branch. It's working.
Really though?
It's working.
It didn't stop. Work for the shooter. They visited the kid like 39 times.
Oh, I thought we were talking about molasses.
I thought we were talking about FBI. FBI connection.
Different divisions, you know.
Okay.
They're doing it successfully. Molasses control.
They got it down with molasses. They definitely dropped the ball with school shooters.
Unsung heroes of America. Oh my god.
We need Trump like having a parade about this, you know,
About
just being like,
molasses?
yeah, just mention it like at his press conference, you know. Hey, well, you know what though? At least we don't have molasses spills. What? Did the president just say molasses spills? That's right. You've never heard of it because
It's like
it's
one
been
of those
working.
memes where he signs a declaration
Yeah.
or whatever, and he holds it up, and it's something stupid, but it says molasses control,
Or-
and it's a real thing.
Oh, he repeals the control.
We'll have molasses in the hands of everybody.
Oh man, I don't even know what's gonna happen.
Free
Okay, so I'm
molasses
having
everywhere.
trouble figuring out what's going on, but like,
With
looks
the
like
emu war. It wasn't even like really a war.
it looks like someone had Lewis guns and 10,000 rounds of ammo. Were they just shooting emus?
Pretty much. So they call it like the emu war, but like I guess I think there's like an overpopulation or something. It was just like a genocide of him.
Dude,
No, people can call it thinning the herd.
Australia is wild, bro.
Yeah,
More
literally every animal there wants to kill you.
Yeah.
Every
More
animal.
than 1,000 emus were spotted heading towards their position. Oh my
It sounds
god!
like
God.
a war. That sounds like it's
Yeah.
like an army ranger calling it in.
Yeah.
We got Charlie all over the place, and just an army of emus sprinting at him.
The
I imagine
emus soon
Avatar,
disappeared.
the scene where all the animals are running out through the forest.
Oh, dude, where is the movie for that? Like, that'd be an Oscar winner right there. They give like a final speech and everything. The music's dramatic.
What's that Kennedy movie, Diku Biku?
What? Oh man, Chappaquiddick. That's it.
You
Oh, I
are not
nailed
even
it.
close.
That was
Chappaquiddick.
I
Okay.
mean, they're both ridiculous.
No, it's okay. Have you heard of that movie though? Chappaquiddick.
No.
Okay. Do you know who Ted Kennedy was?
It sounds familiar.
One of John's boys.
Okay. I
Yeah.
figured-
So
I
it was
didn't
one of
wanna
his
say
brothers,
that
but
too
so
long,
he's
though.
famous though because there was like I think it was like a political party thing or whatnot at his camp thing called Chappaquiddick. And I'm nailing it now.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
happy.
you're doing
Yesterday
good.
I was like having a stroke every time.
Wait, say it again.
Chappaquiddick.
Chappaquiddick.
It's
There's like 3 D's in a row or something.
yeah, it's like CHAPPA
That's a cool name.
DDUICKA or something like that. It's
Wait,
something ridiculous.
This is a movie?
Yeah, so it's a movie. It's based on a true story. So pretty much what happened was Ted Kennedy. They were at like a political party, and I guess like his girlfriend or friend, I don't know that part, but some lady named Mary Jo. They got in the car, and he had been drinking, and drove off a like kind of like a small bridge into a river, flipped the car upside down, and he got out of the car, and instead of going to call 911 or something, or get help or try to help her out, he walked home, went to bed, woke up the next day, and then called the police about it. They found her. She was dead, but she didn't drown. That's the thing. So she died, but you know how she died? There was an air pocket in the car, and she died of suffocation.
Oh my god.
And the whole movie is about how this whole cover up on it and stuff. All he got was 30 days probation. That's all Ted Kennedy got.
What?
So the Kennedys were like the Clintons of the day, you know.
I'm not gonna lie though, like John F. Kennedy is like one of those guys I hold in the highest honor, like just treating the White House like a frat party all the time, you know? Like you gotta give it to him.
Well, just like
Kinda like
George
Bill
W. George W.
no,
Well, one of his college days where he would like do coke or whatever.
Andrew Jackson, he threw his White House inauguration party, and he's like, everyone can come, any citizen can come to my White House party.
Except for Native Americans, right?
Right, except for them.
Oh,
They
wow.
had
The original
they had to walk
Americans.
home.
Oh, too soon. Too
Yeah.
soon.
And so he invited everybody, but the party like wasn't stopping. And so when they would run out of a keg or whatever they had back in the day, they would move it further away from the White House, like breadcrumbs, to get these people out of the White House.
That's
Yeah,
ingenious.
Yeah,
smart.
it is.
That's smart.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Horrible guy.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why he's still on a $20 bill. Like, we can swap him out with anyone.
Yeah, Harry Tubman, you know.
Like Harriet Tubman would be a good choice. I would be cool. There was small talk, but it died out real fast. Of Clara Barton. You know who she was? So during the Civil War, she was she's the one who ended up starting like the American Red Cross, I believe, or like considered the founder of it. She literally would just ride out in the battlefield with her cart and stuff, while bullets and cannons are firing left and right to just load people up and stuff like that. Like
Oh, wow.
complete BA, just
Yeah. That's
yeah,
awesome.
and just toss under. Learned that from those Magic Treehouse books. And then I ended up researching it about myself. Like,
those were the best books.
dude.
Back in second grade.
Yeah, all the time. And then like in high school, like I found because I still have them somewhere in the house. I like briefly looked through it. I like read it in like 10 minutes. I was like, oh, these things are like
easiest books ever.
yeah, but they were cool, dude. Travel back in time. That'd be pretty dope.
There was a lot of them. How many did they make? Like
I think she's still
60,
making them.
She's still making.
I think so. I'll look it up, or you want to look it up if you want.
Sure.
You got the laptop.
Magic
I
Time.
almost brought my laptop to be my thing, but like I kind of type a bit obnoxiously. So
Yeah, that'd be too
Are
much.
you a loud typer?
You do everything a bit obnoxiously.
Ooh.
Oh, get shit on.
Shots have been fired.
no, I don't like type that loud. But-
I've never seen or heard of any of these books.
Of Magic Tree.
You ever read any of
What
them?
did you read as a
That's the
kid?
best book right now. Did you read them, David?
Like Captain Underpants.
They look
Goosebumps.
Okay, Captain Underpants was good, but like
Yeah.
still. But did you read the Hardy Boys?
Mm-hmm.
Hardy Boys were awesome. I love those ones too.
Oh, I think I have a clue coming on. Oh, my clue is pointing over here.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think I've seen those.
Do you have a Magic
From-
Treehouse? Can you look up though how many she's on right now? If there's any more new ones.
Let's find out how many George R. R. Martin's on.
I mean, I grew up in Portland.
Yeah,
so-
not enough.
Like 6.
I don't think. I honestly don't think he's gonna.
die.
No. I don't think he's gonna finish them. I don't think he has any intention to finish the books anymore. Now that the show has passed, because he still has this book to do, and then he has another one to do. By then, the show will have been over for like, I mean, at his rate,
5 years.
5-6 years. At that point, people will be like, "We know the ending already, dude. You're behind. Like, watch the show."
He's
Like,
just gonna get a completely different ending. Like
he's told them that the original ending is going to be because in the event of if God forbid he dies or whatever, only the producers. You know how they're filming it though? They're filming multiple endings.
Oh really?
Just because if people who are like any paparazzi are like trying to see certain things, trying to piece together, so there might be shots or whatever of like let's say Cersei on the throne or other people, you know, so you don't know what it is.
That's actually
Not even the
genius.
actors.
Oh, wow.
Not even the actors know how it's gonna end.
So only the producers know?
Only the executive producers.
30.
Oh, like the higher ups. Okay.
What?
30 bucks.
Nope.
30.
There's more to Magic Treehouse books.
Okay, then I think it's about 90.
Okay, yeah, because she did the initial ones, and then she did the one where she branched on more with King Arthur, Morgan Le Fay.
Oh, she did.
Yeah,
I didn't read those ones.
You didn't read those? Were like the hardcover?
Nope. See, I
Did you
never
stop?
got those.
Oh, okay. I remember I got those. The first one I got was like the it was like a something with the Excalibur. It was is it on here? Oh no, Christmas in Camelot. I did read that.
Merlin's Mission.
might have
Summer
read
the
one
Sea
of those.
Serpent. That's where they find the sword of Excalibur.
I feel like I might have read one of those just coming across it, but I never like read many of them. Like,
Yeah.
So,
in
Magic
that
Treehouse. Is
Yeah.
Miss Frizzle in these?
No,
Nope.
nope. That's
No, that's the
School
Magic
Bus.
School Bus.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she could be in both.
No, this is
I
different.
mean,
This is alternate
John
universe.
Time traveler. Weirdo
Yeah,
with the
but like I
bus.
feel like then the Magic School Bus just gonna go really short into people.
That's true. That's true.
Go short into people?
Like okay,
Yeah,
the
they'll turn into like.
Well, yeah, there was
size.
an
yeah,
there-
like
there was an
osmosis
episode-
type stuff or whatever.
Osmosis fucking Jones.
That was I watched it. Maybe I don't know if I watched the
So
whole
that's
thing, but
where
a long
I
time
learned the
ago.
F word. Osmosis fucking Jones.
Yeah.
What?
Mhm.
I knew I learned it in second grade.
What?
Mhm. Osmosis Jones?
Never heard of it.
You haven't?
Oh.
Oh, it's
Will Smith?
was I think it's Will Smith. Will Smith and
Definitely not. Let's put it
oh,
Will Smith.
I'm trying to think of the other guy's name who did like big guy.
Yeah, the pill.
Yeah.
Wait, is that the name of the movie?
Yeah.
Osmosis Jones.
And then
Not Osmosis.
and
drop
then
that, yeah.
Bill Murray was in the movie. Oh, Chris Rock.
Oh, it was Chris
And
Rock.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Oh.
Wait,
You mean Samuel L. Jackson?
Is he the one with the lazy
No one got the
I have
reference.
seen that.
No, is he the one with the
Long-
lazy
Yeah.
eye?
Is that the one where he goes into the girl's body and he starts turning pink?
What?
Yes,
No.
yes, yes.
This-
Oh,
Lazy?
is that movie?
Okay.
That's
But-
what it
Oh yeah,
is.
that's a
It
long
was-
time ago, so I don't know. I
it
just
was
can
a
see the
movie?
front
That's
cover.
the only
That's
part
it.
I remember is he gets doesn't I don't remember.
No,
how it happens,
oh,
but
I
that
remember this
germ
movie.
Goes into the girl's body and then
Yeah.
he starts turning into a woman. He
Yeah,
starts turning
yeah.
pink.
No. He starts acting a little gay. At
Oh, is
first.
that what happens?
Yeah, he starts acting girly,
Oh,
and then he
yeah.
starts slowly turning pink, and it was
Yeah.
really funny. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so there was the movie, and then there was a TV show, and I loved
think-
the TV show.
I think I watched a little bit of it. Did you ever watch like the Buzz Lightyear TV show?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah. That was
That was a
good.
good TV
Oh,
show.
what was the main bad guy's name?
Zerg?
Zerg. Wasn't Zerg like
Zerg or Zerg?
Zerg?
Zerg.
Zerg. Yeah, it was Zerg.
Zerg is
Oh,
one of those pronouns
man.
people go by now.
Oh. Yeah. Oh,
Watch your
sorry.
privilege.
Yeah,
Gender.
Oh,
I'm
yes,
sorry, but,
cisgender. Yeah,
no
you're
offense
white.
to any of
You're
you,
white
it's just-
cisgender privilege.
Oh my gosh.
You know.
I accept
I
all
prefer-
people. That's the truth.
I prefer they, Zer.
Oh my god, it's so stupid.
It's on Tinder all the time. Like every 10th girl, they, them. Like, why do you have to put that on there?
It's like you're one person. You're not multiple people. If you're multiple people, you have a mental disorder. That's what it is.
Or
Like,
you really want a mental disorder.
yeah, like that's not something you want to be jealous about. Like,
No.
oh man, you have multiple personality. I wish I
Did you
had
see that
that.
movie Split? Where
No, but I heard about. But I heard.
it was
Good
amazing.
movie.
Okay,
Super
I
good.
hear a lot of people enjoy it who like horror movies and stuff. But I heard it's like not or anywhere accurate to how the actual disorder is.
The ending, no.
Well, I heard like the majority of it. Like,
Well, the end-
there's a
I don't know
very
much of it.
very small extent.
Oh, the
to
ending,
It.
definitely no.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I don't.
But I liked it because the dude's performance just switching between the characters.
It was good.
James
It was-
McAvoy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
it's
good.
suspenseful.
Yeah.
Super good.
I want to see that movie A Quiet Place so badly,
Yes.
but the problem
Yeah.
is
I'm
but
scared.
maybe I might see it when I go to LA. Me and my girlfriend, we might.
I'm
We're not.
not going to LA.
When does
Well,
it come out?
obviously.
Wait, no, I'll go.
It's already out, I think.
Oh, it is.
Or
It's
no, it
already
comes out. Oh
It came
no,
out yet today.
this weekend I think.
Today, Friday.
Did it come
Oh,
out
today's
today?
We
Is
should
it?
go see it.
Let's go
I-
watch it.
We'll see. I don't know.
If
But
I
like
go there,
it
I'm
looks
gonna get, like a
really
big
good.
bag of chocolate.
something to calm you down. Like yeah,
bro.
no.
I don't handle scary movies.
Yeah, I don't either. Like, but I want to see it. It's got like 99% around. It had 100% for like.
I thought it was
for-
100.
It had for the longest time, but
And
it,
it
since
went
it's
down. On
well,
the radio this morning it was 96.
did it? I saw it go 98, and then when I checked recently, it went back to 99.
Did it? Okay.
So people are just giving it.
yeah.
But John Krasinski, who is accent he directed it. He said,
Oh,
yeah, he
I
directed.
didn't
It's his
know
first movie he's directed
Wow.
too. And Emily Blunt, his wife, is in it.
Beautiful
But
actress. Good for him.
oh yeah, I was jealous. No. But like he was saying, I think it was on Jimmy Fallon, where people were telling him after they saw the movie, like when they went in their cars or like when people were in the bathroom and stuff, people legitimately were like, shh, like be quiet. Like literally, it was like so intense that people were like walking quietly at the theater and stuff, like trying not to make noise, because the whole movie has very little dialogue. The whole purpose is don't make any sound at all. Like that's why you see them walking on sand in the house too. Like they're doing it to just be quiet and stuff. But
When I saw the trailer and she was giving birth in that tub, in that
is she giving birth in it?
looked like she
Yeah,
was, 'cause
it
she
looked
was
like she was giving
uber
birth.
pregnant at
Yeah.
one point.
Oh,
And she was
maybe.
in a tub. Like, what else do you do in a
Oh
tub?
well, no, I didn't know if maybe like
Yeah,
what?
They can't make noise.
Wait, what'd you say?
you can bathe in the tub. You
No,
bathe in
no,
the
no. It
tub.
was
No,
just
no,
an
no,
empty
well,
tub. She was just sitting
empty
there.
tub.
Yeah,
Oh.
and she
Yeah.
was like holding her belly.
Well,
Yeah.
you
It looked
can-
like she was giving
She,
birth.
she was in pain. too.
probably yeah, but it looked like she was keeping quiet, I guess. But yeah, that'd be interesting to be in a world where you have to be complete silent, and yeah, I don't know.
I
Do you
feel
think
like
that's possible though? Giving birth and being
No.
the baby would cry for sure.
So it's like at that point, do you like grab the baby, or I mean, you don't want to cover his
Yeah,
mouth,
you don't want to
or
do
do you
that.
just book it? I mean, you're not gonna really be running after you give birth and stuff.
But in the trailer, that thing's right outside the door,
No, it's right behind
Yeah.
her.
or right behind her.
Like,
Right when it happens, I don't know.
we'll
Man.
watch the trailer after this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll see. Like I mean, in terms of whether I want to see
When
it.
are we gonna go see $8 million hurricane heist?
Oh my god. Oh, did I tell you how I saw
Wait, what
Geostorm?
movie is that?
No.
I don't know.
Okay, so the hurricane heist we'll get to in a second, but
Oh
like
yeah,
okay,
we'll get to it.
we're moving into way of movies here, which is good. But I watched that movie or tried to watch the movie Geostorm when my girlfriend was here. That trailer is not what the movie is about. There, okay, the storms you see in it and everything, all the
Isn't
events.
it caused by the satellites?
Yeah, no, it is. But the storms and the effects of it, the movie is an hour and 40 minutes. You don't see any of the effects of the storms or anything until over an hour in. You expect a movie called Geostorm, and the front poster of it is the Burj Khalifa in where
Dubai.
Dubai, and this huge tsunami and stuff. You expect the movie to have it. No, it turns out the movie is more like a thriller, and they're trying to investigate and like who's working undercover and stuff like that. And it's like, whoa, marketing failed big time on this movie, because I thought it was just like a movie like 2012 or
Yeah,
whatever.
That's what it looked like.
The movie, he's like in space the whole time. He's not even like, he's on ground at the very beginning. So even the advertising, there's a poster of it where he's like holding like his daughter or something while this huge wave comes. Never happens in the movie.
I hate that.
I got like, me and my girlfriend, we got like maybe an hour 15 in the movie, and we're like, I can't. We just had to drop it. I would never recommend that movie ever in my life. That movie was just straight, and the effects, the visual effects, were so bad.
I feel bad partly for Gerard Butler. He just fell so
Oh
far.
yeah, because it's like 300. Everyone was like, "Oh, dude, he's good."
I just watched that for the first time.
Wait, he's the
Same
main,
here.
main dude,
First
really?
time. It was
Super good.
it was good. I was like, you know what the like I understand it's got crazy amounts of slow-mo, it's very
Yeah.
green screen,
But
everything.
it's supposed to be like that.
But because it's based off a comic book, and I
Yeah.
think that's Zack Snyder, the director, I think one thing he does phenomenal is he knows how to take a comic book and turn it. Now I haven't watched Watchmen,
Oh my god.
I need to, I need to.
Good. It's one of
but
my
I
movies.
I know he does a
And
great
it's
job
as
at
well.
turning comic book
Bye-bye.
panels into a real thing, which is hard to do because I mean,
Yeah.
you watch the Marvel movies. They're if you they don't resemble the comics other than the characters and like universe.
Well, kind of because they kind of can't.
Yeah, there's no like stylized to them. I think the Marvel movies are they're made very conservatively. Like
Yeah.
they don't
Very.
take any
Hawkeye,
risk.
he's wearing like a skin tight purple suit with a giant H on his forehead.
No, well, okay, but like I mean, costume wise, obviously I understand they have to change stuff. I get that they have to. It's
And there's a billion story arcs.
oh yeah, there's yeah, so many. But I mean, even just the way they're filmed,
Yeah.
like aesthetically, they're very simple. They're not
Mhm.
creative. Like
Nothing
okay,
extravagant about them, you know.
yeah, well, it's not something where you if you took a single frame or something like that, you couldn't be like, that's a Marvel movie unless you saw a superhero in it. But
Right.
there's certain movies where you're like, I know who if you kind of pay attention more in the world of it,
Mhm.
you can kind of recognize it, you know? 300. You know that have we all seen 300 now?
Yeah.
Okay. When they're like pushing them off the cliffs and stuff, and it's like a black silhouette but like a golden sun, you know that's 300.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that's so stylized and everything. And I'm not saying every Iron Man movie has to be like that, but there's nothing to separate them a bit, and I'm not a fan of the Marvel
Me neither.
movies.
I mean,
Like
Deadpool is cool. But,
Yeah.
that's cause
Yeah, it's more of a
Yeah.
Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like of the Disney Marvel
Oh, I love
universe
them.
and stuff,
I love them. I eat them up.
all of them.
Hmm.
Iron Man 3?
I mean, I watched it.
Iron Man 3 was trash.
Wouldn't watch it again.
I would never watch that again. Like the complete throwaway of any potential good characters, and then it's like they ended it with him destroying all of his suits, and then next
And
thing
then
you know,
it
he's
didn't matter. They didn't
it
explain.
had no effect on it. But I'm excited for Infinity War. I do want to see.
Me too.
Someone better die.
Someone's
I
going
swear.
to. You know what though? I think it might be Captain America.
It's gonna be
Oh, that's what I was
that
saying.
my
That's
goal.
what a lot of
If I
people
had
are
to bet
saying.
Anything, I bet my apartment, all my money on Captain America.
Oh well, I mean that's a big bet.
$50 down on Captain America.
I don't know who else could you do. I mean, you can't do Iron Man. I don't think so.
Mhm.
But who else could you
But I
do?
mean, everyone's expecting Captain America.
That's the thing. I'm wondering
that's
if
a good point too.
that. Well,
That's
that's
a super good.
that's what I'm like. Now, what they could do is maybe he does die, but they have the time stone and they are able to go back
Yeah.
and redo it. Because now, well, no. Here's the thing. So there's screenshots of them on the set where Captain America, Iron Man, and I forgot who else. All of them are wearing these like on their hands. It looks like they all have timers on them, like watches. So maybe they're timing something. So maybe like they do have the time stone, or they're going back and they know how much time they have left. So.
It would be good to see an Infinity Stone do something besides make a big explosion.
Yeah. So okay, and here's one thing. As like I'm excited for Infinity War, but the one thing I'm not crazy a fan of, especially with just Marvel movies, and it's a flaw within itself. Everyone is able to notice where something happens and someone's trying to take over the world, and you're like, well, where are the other Avengers? Where's like when Thor and all this stuff is happening?
Oh,
Where are all these other guys going on here? You know, and I'm pretty sure it's just because scheduling and they want to do it individually. But I don't like that every time there's a villain who wants to take over the world. Like why? Like that? Because then you know they're not going to. They're not going to win.
Mhm.
The stakes are too high, and it's been done too many times. That's why I loved Daredevil.
Oh God. Yeah.
Daredevil, or like even the Dark Knight. Dark Knight's my favorite movie.
Right. He didn't want the world. He wanted the city. He just wanted.
Well, I mean, the
They
Joker
all-
didn't even want the city.
They all just wanted to do something smaller.
Yeah. So with Daredevil, it was Fisher, right? Yeah, I think it was Fisher.
Kingpin.
Kingpin.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Who's Fisher? Why is that name?
I don't know, like Fisher from like
Are you talking about the bald?
Yeah, what was
Yeah,
it?
that's Kingpin.
Fisk?
Fisk.
There we go.
Fisk,
Fisher.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. No, but like,
we were right on that, right together.
yeah, I was real close. So, but like, he didn't. I mean, he was just a mob boss, you know. But still, it was localized. It was central. So
Yeah.
you're like, you know what? Just this part of the city. It's just a small character who doesn't have superpowers. I mean, well, yeah, I wouldn't just enhanced hearing. I mean, I wouldn't. I don't know. Would you say that's a superpower? I understand, like,
I'd say that's a mutation.
it's not a mutation, but like,
he got hit by like a chemical truck.
yeah, but I made him blind.
Right.
Yeah, it didn't
So,
give
but
him
it
super
give him super hearing.
Okay.
Did it?
Let me look this up.
No, in the comic books,
well,
maybe.
he's also not completely blind.
It's more like sonar, though, right?
No, but in the movie with Ben Affleck, he's like completely blind.
Oh no, I'm
and
talking about.
sonars.
I'm talking about
Yeah,
Netflix.
Ben
But-
Affleck's best movie
yeah.
ever.
Oh, hands down. You know.
But in the TV show, there's
Gosh.
an episode called World on Fire, and he explains that, and he basically was lying to everybody. He's like, I'm not really blind. Everything's just kind of red and messed up.
Now, was he saying that just
he
to
said
kind of
that.
like?
No, that was a huge story arc where he got.
Is that like
Okay,
any connection to the comics though?
I don't know.
Because I don't know. Well, okay, but nonetheless, so it's all localized for The Dark Knight. I think the reason The Dark Knight is my favorite movie. I'm putting Lord of the Rings in its own special category. It has its own category that will remain untouched.
We need to come back to that.
Okay, with Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know where you're going.
Back off Daredevil too.
What?
No, keep going.
Oh, okay, yeah, no. So with Dark Knight though, the reason why I like it is not because it's I mean it's a Christopher Nolan movie, so I get that, but not because Batman is such a great character. He is, but it's the Joker that's so amazing because a Joker doesn't he has no motive. The Joker is a symbol
I
of
thought he did have a motive.
No.
His
No.
motive was to I thought his motive was to get Batman to kill him because he wanted him to break his own rule.
Okay, but so what the Joker represents is just pure chaos and evil.
Yeah.
It's just no control. I mean, he knew that Batman wasn't going to reveal his mask, although Bruce Wayne was going to, but he knew he wasn't going to. The only reason he even did that was to incite panic and now this fear and this anger between the civilians trying to almost like find a manhunt for Batman and stuff. And Batman does lose at the end, and I think that's why I liked it. Like, it ends on this triumphant kind of note, but Batman does lose because even though he didn't kill, he still now has to just claim that lie to be true for him in order to preserve like the goodness in people, because Harvey Dent turns evil. Harvey Dent was the White Knight. He was the guy in shining armor who was supposed to save everyone, and yet the Joker brought the worst out of him and showing that like you could be as good as you want. There's still evil in you, and evil will always win. But
I think that was the best movie because like Christopher Nolan, amazing director, but like I think Christian Bale, my favorite Batman, the Joker, best Batman of all time. You know, you got all these amazing actors in one movie with the best director, arguably one of the best directors of all time.
Perfect.
yeah.
Like, that
My
storyline
only
cannot be
thing I will knock on the entire movie is the actress who played Rachel. They replaced her.
I didn't like that either.
I didn't like it. It was too sudden, but
Wasn't the old one doing something else?
Katie Holmes. Who used to be married to
I
Chris.
didn't notice.
You didn't notice?
You didn't?
I've seen those movies many times.
Oh, I noticed the first time I watched it.
Yeah,
I was
I was
like,
like-
"Whoa, that's Rachel!" Like, you can look it up if you want.
Jake Gyllenhaal's
Wait, please look it up.
Yeah,
I
Maggie
can't think of it
Gyllenhaal.
Yeah. Not as talented as Jake Gyllenhaal by any stretch of the imagination, but
No, who's I don't know. I don't know if he might be my favorite actor.
What's her
him
name?
or Tom Hardy.
Maggie Gyllenhaal or
Well, I
Gyllenhaal.
mean, in Batman. What's her name in Batman?
Rachel Dawes.
There we go. He's on it.
Oh, dude, The Dark Knight. I've seen that movie. It's the first movie I saw in theaters like 5 times. First movie I've ever seen in theaters, multiple
I
times.
think I saw Avatar twice in theater, but I've never seen anything more.
First movie I saw twice. Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
The movie's trash. Don't even get me on it.
Trash.
Wait, Last Jedi. Is that the newest one?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
You can
I
check
mean,
it out.
okay, well,
I see it.
okay, for Last Jedi, you haven't seen it. Have you seen it, Damien?
No.
Okay, I would say watch it. Try to keep an open mind about it so you don't have anything like that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well,
I'm
no,
going to
but
it.
I would say watch it, and then I want to hear back from it though, because like
I'll buy it.
What?
I'm gonna buy that movie.
Really?
If you do,
I own all the Star Wars on Blu-ray.
Oh, so but you're just
have
doing it
it.
out of loyalty, right? Not
Yeah.
out of like appreciate like.
Correct.
Okay, yeah.
The
Okay, well,
movie
makes sense.
angered me. I'm a
Oh, I
huge
couldn't
Star Wars
stand
fan.
it. That movie could have. That movie was. It's the longest Star Wars movie. It's like 2.5 hours, 2 hours 31 minutes or something like that. They
It's a
easily
great
could have
movie.
removed. They could have chopped out 30 minutes.
It's a good movie.
It's not the one where Vader actually
No,
does something.
that's Rogue
right?
One.
Rogue One.
Okay.
That's Rogue One.
That last scene where everyone's panicking.
Oh,
That
that's
dude at the
good.
door's like, take it. Darth
Right, this
Vader's
is,
coming at him.
Like
Oh.
that's a Star Wars movie that's like about Star Wars and it's fun and it's badass. This one like flips it all on its head. It has something to tell you, and it makes you think and like, what the fuck happened? And that's not what people expect from a Star Wars movie. It's like, oh, what the fuck is that?
I don't. That wasn't my complaint with it though. I feel like this movie, like The Last Jedi. I don't want to talk so much into it till you see it. You haven't.
Yeah,
I don't-
as long
I
as you
mean,
don't spoil anything.
I feel like
Yeah.
the movie was just a huge middle finger to the audience. Like it does. Like I literally feel like Ryan Johnson was just like, screw all you guys. You know what? Any expectations you have, it's gone. Like I understand it's good to have twists and to create new things. I get that.
I can appreciate it, but I don't
I
like.
can-
But being original.
I can understand what he was trying to
That's what you
do.
appreciate him being original, but you don't like the way he
Yeah,
did it.
I okay.
I
Here,
don't
here,
like how he
Alright,
did
that's
it.
fair,
I don't
that's
like
fair.
how he
here's
did
what
it with
I'll
Star Wars.
here's what I'll say. Star Wars: The Last Jedi was a good, really good movie. It was a horrible Star Wars movie.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Okay.
I was
get
also-
what you're
That's
saying.
wonderful.
I get what you're
And
saying.
Because for any other, if it was a Star Trek movie or a brand new movie entirely and stuff, I would appreciate it. But because it was Star Wars and you already have this universe set,
You're
and
so
you
hyped up.
but you have other things. I'm not trying to get in spoiler territory, but you have other stuff from Episode 7 that lead into this, where you have more expectations and characters and stuff. You want to learn a bit more, and then it's the most frustrating thing because it's like,
Yeah.
it's if I molded this beautiful like statue or this clay jar or whatever like that, and then Ryan Johnson came with just a baseball bat, spiked nails, and just smashed it. It was just like, it doesn't exist. It
Right.
doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
None of it, and it's not
And
important.
I think that was the problem is that the first director, Abrams, had that first one. And he's like, okay, this is my movie. And that was it. That's my
Yeah.
movie in this circle. That is it. And then Ryan Johnson came along and it goes, okay, what am I gonna do with this? I don't know what I'm doing. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
I didn't
Yeah.
know they swapped directors. I didn't know.
Yeah, so it was J.J. Abrams, and then it went Ryan Johnson,
Mhm.
and then Episode 9 was gonna be Colin Trevorrow, who did Jurassic World, but he dropped out, or Disney fired him, or whatever. I guess stuff like that. So now he's doing the new Jurassic World 3 or 2 or something, some weird thing.
Stop it.
Yeah, and
They should have stopped a long time ago.
I didn't want Jurassic World. I couldn't stand that movie.
Did J.J. Abrams not want to do the next Star Wars movie? Or
No, they-
Episode 8 or 9.
the one that you said wasn't good?
Well, Episode 8.
Yeah.
Well, no, it wasn't like he
it was a
didn't want.
Disney thing. Like they want like different directors.
Yeah,
to do
well,
each one.
okay, so
Like,
that's-
like,
Okay,
like
well,
an
no.
art project.
Well, here, so the original trilogy, George Lucas only directed one movie. George Lucas only directed Episode 4
Right, but it was
of the
his-
original
But it
trilogy.
was his story.
No, it was his story. He
That's
was the
the thing.
executive producer and
with,
stuff.
With Abrams is he created his story in this perfect little movie,
Yeah,
and then Abrams
Johnson.
Johnson had to do something with that. Like there was no storyline set further.
See, Abrams is one of those guys you don't mess with. Like, he's made amazing movies. I
Right.
feel like I would just let him do his thing, you know?
Yeah,
I would let
well,
him do the next
yeah,
one.
he's doing Episode 9.
I have.
Oh, okay.
I
He's
have-
doing it. So now what hopefully is, it's okay, what I feel like, so J.J. Abrams basically, I feel like he set everything on a table for, okay, I'm going to use an example, like go on a camping trip. Put everything on a table, all laid out, it's all organized. All right, just pick what you need for the trip and everything, and let's go. Ryan Johnson tried picking everything up and just ran to the car, stumbled, dropped stuff along the way, and then said, this is what's important, that's not important, I don't want to hear. And well, I don't like with Ryan Johnson, his response to the fans too. He's basically like been saying how much he's fed up with the fans, and he's just like, oh, are you guys complaining about these things here? Well, yeah, well, look at this and stuff. It's like, dude.
Star Wars means so much to so many.
Yeah. Now, obviously, it's a known fact. Star Wars fans are probably the worst fans. Like the hardcore. Everyone kind of knows it. Even like everyone knows it. Okay, like the hardcore diehard ones. Okay,
Yes.
like the ones who have every action figure, who read every book and everything like that. You know, the ones who pretty much like cried when Disney announced everything that was previously canon is no
Mhm.
longer canon. So, but like, still, you have to respect the fans. And again, this goes back to what I said. It was a really good movie. It was a horrible Star Wars movie.
Right. And
I just could not stand it.
I have a perfect analogy for what Johnson did. So I was in art class in high school, and I did this painting, and I had it done. And then my art teacher, I don't remember her name, she came up and she goes, "Can I do something to it?" And I was like, "Sure." She takes scissors, cuts the fucking painting up, and then rearranges it. And she goes, "Now this is art."
There we go.
That's exactly.
That's what
That's
he did.
exactly what he
Wait, that's a real story.
Yeah.
No, that's probably a really good example of what Johnson did. And then now, like, but it's like, it's as if though Ryan Johnson was doing it. Your teacher did that and then glued it all together, and now JJ was like, do I just go with this painting now?
Yeah.
Or do I cut it back out and try to fix what was
Right.
cut up and stuff like that?
Right.
But the thing now is, if he goes back and reverts certain things, you guys need to see it so we can talk more about it.
I know.
Do that.
Now I feel left out.
But yeah, I'm trying to go to switch to a different movie or something because otherwise I'm gonna get in spoiler territory. I want you guys to go in though.
Yeah.
I mean, we've obviously given our
Overarching
opinion.
story is
Right.
go into it with an open mind, but
Yeah, but obviously, I mean, it's hard to today with everything going on. I went in with high hopes. I was like, trailer looks phenomenal. Everything visually, great movie.
isn't that the worst though when you see a trailer and there's like, I think you mentioned it in that Geostorm, when you see a scene that looks so intense and dramatic and it's not in the movie,
Right.
that's the worst tease in the world.
Yeah.
I
Well, I mean,
thought-
I wouldn't say Geostorm though is a good reference
Yeah,
though, but
yeah,
like,
you
yes,
brought that up, so I had to.
yeah.
But I get what you're saying. Trailers and movies,
Yeah.
they don't correlate. And you just,
Well, they do a lot on the cutting stuff too. Like the Justice League movie. Did you ever watch
Oh,
those?
yeah.
I haven't,
I haven't
watched
seen
that.
You haven't watched it yet?
Nope.
Oh, they completely destroyed Zack Snyder's vision, entirely. Like
Did
they,
they really?
oh yeah, and there is so much more that they did with the movie and the producers and stuff. They could have delayed the movie till they got it right. Pacing's horrible in the movie. Somewhere there was a good movie, and then the producers pretty much just pumped it out, cut it timeline. The movie was supposed to be almost 3 hours long. And
I mean, if it was good, I have no problem with it.
yeah, so most movies when they're filmed, obviously, are much longer than what you see, and then they do a lot. There's a lot that gets removed on the cutting floor, and a lot of it is additional shots, extra stuff, or some things where you're like, you know what, I just don't feel like it's gonna affect the story. Interstellar, it's 2 hours and like 47 minutes or something like
That's
that.
a long movie.
It's a long movie, but
Can't do that.
it's a great
It is.
movie.
I need like
But the original cut of it, without removing the extra flesh and stuff like that, extra parts of it, it was like over 3.5 hours. But they
Wow.
just removed a lot because like even Nolan said, it's just this is stuff I just don't. It doesn't change the story. It doesn't help the themes. It doesn't help the characters. It's just useless. So it's interesting though how these movies will take like it's like 9 months. Well, I mean, most movies take, depending on the movie, about like 3 months to film, 3-4 months to film, 2 months, maybe a month or maybe longer as pre-production. And then depending again on the type of film for visual stuff, a couple months extra. So a movie could take about a year, and yet you get 2 hours of a
Yeah.
movie. Like so
Yeah.
so much work is put into it, and it's not even like they're working like 3 days a week. A lot of them are work. A lot of times it's like a month straight.
Mhm.
Wow.
Like I mean, obviously because of the union's laws or whatever that they have set, they have certain breaks and stuff. But literally, they'll be like, "That's your project for the year." But it depends on the project too. If you're doing a Marvel movie, that's the main one you're working on the year. Although they do them so often now where they can just get them done fast.
Mhm.
Like effects, yeah. But-
Okay, we need to circle back to a few topics. Daredevil, he was hit with the truck, and the truck spilled radioactive substance, so he has heightened superhuman abilities.
Okay.
So it's not
Now-
just he's normally blind in his senses.
Okay. Now this is based off the comics
This
though,
is
or
based off the
net?
comic.
Okay, because I haven't read the comics. I was going off of just the Netflix series because the Netflix series just looked like his eyes just went, but I don't know. I
Right.
haven't
No,
seen it
in
in a
the
while.
Netflix series, he says, "I'm not actually blind. Everything's just really
Okay.
blurry,
I
and it
remember
looks
they
like
gave
it's
a
on
quick
fire."
scene where you saw it through his eyes, very briefly.
Okay.
But speaking through that Daredevil, did you guys watch the Punisher series?
I've only seen a few
No.
episodes.
I want
That
It's
to.
good.
It was What? Okay, so Daredevil's here. Punisher destroyed it.
Really?
Like
Yeah.
Punisher was so good. Like
Okay, I need to go back.
when you watch a superhero movie and like it's not violent, and you're like, you got superhuman abilities. Come on. Punisher was like, I have no superhuman abilities, but I'm the most violent dude in the world.
Mhm.
So like, if you enjoy violence, but when you have to think about strategy and all, you appreciate how he goes about everything. Super good.
He's a great actor.
Oh, dude, I don't know his name, but
Oh man,
Ah.
it's gonna kill me. So there's a
I'll pull it up.
yeah. Please
Frank.
look it up.
Is it Frank? Not Frank.
What?
I'm thinking Frank Grillo.
Frank is his name in
Yeah,
Punisher.
yeah, that's his name. Dude, Frank Grillo is a badass actor too, though.
It's John Bernthal.
Nice.
Yeah.
Movies.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
movies are my
He's
life,
the
man.
movie guy. Okay, circling back again.
Alright.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. You want to do that?
Yeah.
What are we saying on that scale, 1 to 10? Like a 3?
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the first one. The other ones are alright.
Uh,
But we're talking about the new TV series.
Amazon.
Is there a TV series?
So
now?
okay, so Amazon acquired the rights for from the Tolkien estate. They spent, it's not made public, but it's pretty much confirmed from multiple sources. They spent about $250 million just to acquire the rights, just the rights alone.
Wow.
Now,
It's a big property. I mean, they got games.
yeah, well, but the thing is so what they're doing is they're not doing like Lord of the Rings, but turn into a TV series. What they're doing is they bought the rights. So what it means is they can go, like more than likely what they'll do is go before the events of the Ring, before the events of Lord of the Rings, before the events of the Hobbit. They haven't made it public yet, but if they could do like the first age of Middle Earth, there's a
That's
book called the
badass.
Silmarillion,
Wow.
or if they do there's a book called the Fallen Numenor, which is like where Aragorn. Okay, this is where the old where men came from in the universe, or
Mhm.
the old kings and stuff, where they came and like there was a. So Sauron is known as like the main villain in
Mhm,
Lord of the
mhm.
Rings, like the eye and stuff. But there was when he was in a physical form, he was actually
Elf?
well, kind of an elf, but not necessarily. It was like in between, like some type of like deity level. So
Okay.
like at a higher end, and Tolkien created an entire universe.
Yeah.
Like
It's vast.
it's insane, like from a creator of the whole, like a god, all right, and then these like descendants and everything like that, and how everything like these certain poems and stuff, he's created books and short
Mhm.
stories off of them and stuff. So he's created this whole thing. But there's what Amazon can do if they want is what they should do is go back and tell a certain section of that. Now I saw an article, it's estimated based off of what the general cost of Amazon's TV shows for 2 seasons for Lord of the Rings, and this like adding a little extra in case, it looks like it might be around 250 million for 2 seasons. So all in all, they'd be spending about $500 million to do it. They could pull it off. I'm really hoping that there's no directors attached. They're working on scripts.
I heard something about a director the other day.
I think there were something. I think it'd be cool if they brought Peter Jackson. That'd be cool.
That sounds familiar. What did he do?
Lord of the Rings.
Oh, I haven't watched Lord of the Rings.
Okay, so he did Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and stuff. I'm okay if they bring someone else new.
If you could pick one director or like 2 directors in your like perfect world, who would you want them to like reach out to?
For the
Coen Brothers. I
what,
love the Coen.
why am I
Brothers.
blanking out? They did Hail Caesar, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
And No Country for Old Men.
I haven't seen that one.
So-
I really need to see that movie.
I have it. I
We're
want
gonna
to
watch that
watch it
sometime.
again.
What's that
Yeah.
about?
It's like this psychopath.
It's this guy who like comes across this crime scene, just this guy in Texas, and there's like a case of money. So he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna take this money," and then the people whose money it belonged to hires this guy to go find him and kill him.
Oh.
But the Coen Brothers just do these really good, just fuck you movies.
Really?
Yeah,
They're all just fuck
they're really
you.
okay. But for your question, man, I don't know. That's the thing.
You don't know?
Because, like, okay, I'm a Nolan, and
Oh,
Nolan
yeah,
we
for sure.
trust. Like, that's,
But-
like, I'm diehard with that. Yeah,
But you
that's
don't
like a
see-
whole thing.
You don't see that being the route you.
No, Nolan,
Yeah, I don't either.
No, because he likes doing his own creative stuff or original stuff. Because even though Batman isn't his stuff, he completely made it original.
Yeah.
The Dark Knight
He
series.
tore it down and rebuilt it.
Yeah,
He was the one
exactly.
that directed Dark Knight.
Yeah,
The
Batman Begins,
3
Dark
movies.
Knight, Dark Knight Rises. He's my favorite director of all time. Dude, I don't know, because there's some directors who make good like medieval style stuff. Like okay, like I love the movie Gladiator. All right.
Yep, super.
Ridley Scott did that. Problem is Ridley Scott's a hit or miss director. He can make a great movie, and then he can just make garbage. Like he's there's no middle ground where you're like, it's okay. It's either great or horrible. He has no middle ground.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
so
not good with names. What's a bad movie he made?
yeah. Examples.
There was a movie. He did the Exodus movie.
What?
The one with the new one with Christian Bale. The Moses movie.
Oh, was it bad?
Oh, it
Oh.
got just yeah, it was just
I
trash.
saw it with my parents because they really wanted to go see it.
Yeah, I was gonna see it, and then like I heard reviews and then saw stuff. I was like, oh,
It was a movie.
this just
I
looks
completely forgot about it.
yeah. So
It's not bad. Okay.
he's a hit or miss director. Most people will say that. Like he did the movie The Martian, which I enjoyed up until the end with Matt Damon, the guy stuck on
I
Mars.
enjoyed
Oh yeah. No.
I read the book, so it's like the ending is different than the book.
I'm kinda
Was
tired
the
of
movie
Matt Damon.
good? I didn't watch it.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, you would enjoy it. If you didn't read the book, you'll enjoy the movie. Will do. And I enjoyed it for 90% of the movie. I really enjoyed it. I understand certain things that you have to cut, but I don't understand it change the ending. I think Matt Damon was the only actor to really pull off that role.
Oh, he
Well,
changed.
he's
the
one of
ending.
those guys that's an
Yeah.
amazing actor.
Yeah, well,
There's like a few actors today that are just brilliant.
Oh yeah, I think like Jake Gyllenhaal. I think Jake Gyllenhaal might be my favorite actor. I think he's one of the most diverse.
For me, it's either Jake Gyllenhaal or Tom Hardy. Those two.
Yeah,
are just-
Tom Hardy's stepping it up now.
I am
Hardcore.
like torn. When I watch those two, I'm like, I don't know. You're so good.
Yeah, Tom Hardy just gets in the role. Like
Yes.
what's the one with Shia LaBeouf?
Holes?
Nope,
Lawless.
Lawless.
Oh yeah.
Because he just heard
Lawless.
Shia LaBeouf.
That
No,
was
Lawless
I
was
was
such
good.
a good
Yeah,
movie.
that was-
Oh, when what's his face gets his
Oh
Yeah.
my
throat
god.
slit and he just holds it
Yeah.
closed and
Yeah.
he survives. Oh,
Yeah.
so badass.
Yeah, and then like in Warrior, did you watch that one?
Ooh
Bro.
yeah, that was a
Oh,
good movie.
dude.
I
Okay,
own that movie.
yeah, I have it. Oh, you know what's
Do I?
surprising for a movie being
Yeah,
like
my
just?
roommate
Have you
did.
seen that? Warrior.
No.
Okay, it's really good. It's an MMA movie, like fighting.
Oh, I know which one it is. I
Yeah.
haven't seen it.
So, but it's funny because most like fight movies seem generic, and this one has the generic
Yeah,
stuff.
of course.
But it's just so well done. I was playing it one time in my house, like just on the big TV, and then my mom came down. My mom was like, "Why are you watching this and stuff?" Because has a very small selection of movies and stuff. And literally, she just started sitting down and just watched it. And like, okay, the part where like where the dad like gets drunk and stuff like that, dude.
Yeah.
I could see in the reflection. My mom was like tearing up from it. I was like, it's that's how I
Oh,
know.
wow.
Even my mom knows it's a great movie. Like it's an emotional
That,
scene.
that last scene where they're fighting and he's got his broken arm.
Oh my gosh, that was hard.
He hasn't
to
seen
watch.
it. Don't spoil it.
I'm not gonna watch it. I don't
You
like
sure?
fighting.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what the premise is?
No.
So the premise is two brothers who, when they were very young, their parents divorced. But what ended up happening, they were very close, and they both did like wrestling in high school and stuff. Their parents divorced though, and one of the brothers went with the mom, and then the other one went with the dad for a little bit, and then he went off, got married, and then so the other brother who went off with the mom, that's Tom Hardy. He ended up their mom died, and then he joined the Marines, and then he just kind of disappeared, and then the brother who went with the dad. All right, I'm trying to.
No, I'm following.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
following.
the brother who went with the dad, his dad like got drunk and was addicted to things and stuff, so he left his dad, got married, never talked to his dad. Eventually, talks to his dad. The movie picks up basically where the son who went to the Marines comes back, briefly talks to his dad for a bit. The other one comes. So things start kicking off, but what ends up happening is, the one who went off to get married, he's having financial troubles with his family, like his house, the bank is gonna foreclose it, and he needs money. He used to be an MMA fighter. So anyways, there's this huge MMA tournament, and basically a grand prize is like $1 million or
I think
$4
it's
million.
5 million.
Yeah, it was like $5 million.
obnoxious.
So he ends up training and entering in it, and the other brother ends up training and entering it for his own separate reason, but they don't know that they're entering
Oh,
this
I'm
stuff.
guessing they fight at the end.
They fight at okay, yeah, they gives it away in the trailer, which I don't like, but
Yeah.
they end up fighting at the end. But like They find out about it only later on, like towards the very end. But it's so like, and you find out the reason why, like Tom Hardy, why he's fighting is. Are you ever gonna watch the movie?
No.
No. So it ends up as revealed is there were during an attack like at night and stuff. One of like a military vehicle got like stuck like in this river. It got stuck and stuff, and the guys in there were drowning. And you just see in like this like night vision footage and stuff. He literally just comes out of nowhere and he just like pretty much almost rips the door off. Like he opens it for them and then disappeared. So he went AWOL, and so they end up finding out because he went AWOL and stuff. He's gonna be court-martialed and everything. But during that whole thing, the reason he went AWOL is because his crew, his squad was sent to a specific area and they got ambushed and his buddy died. So he's trying to get the money to give to his buddy's family.
All right, now, I don't know how close these brothers are. I'm assuming not very.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why wouldn't you before the fight say, "Oh, we're gonna fight"? How about whoever wins and we just split it?
It was a lot more emotional because like they both agreed to go with their mother because their dad was a drunk.
Yeah, they both initially before they got divorced were agreed they're gonna go with them and stuff.
If I was gonna fight you for $5 million, I'd be like, all right, let's just see who wins for the.
Yeah,
fun
but
of
we're
it.
not brothers. That's the thing.
But
But think of it from that way. You know, like if it like they grew up really close.
Yeah.
Really close and everything. They were like they stuck together. They knew their dad was a drunk and stuff. Their mom wasn't the best. They both agreed we're going with mom. And then once the divorce happened, he kind of was just like, you know what? There's this girl I really like. I want to marry her and stuff. So he went his own way, kind of just ditching him and stuff. And literally after the mom dies, he was left with nothing. Nothing.
But so it's kind of bitter.
Yeah, it's incredibly bitter and stuff like that. Like Tom Hardy's a little brother in it.
But he's bigger.
Tom Hardy, yeah, as a little brother, I can't picture that.
Well, like height-wise, he's smaller, but nonetheless, dude, he got like just jacked for the movie.
Oh, I was about to say that he got
so
jacked.
Trap City, man, like his traps are massive, dude, crazy. And then so he gained like I think like 40 pounds for that movie. Or yeah, somewhere around there of like just straight muscle. And then right at the end of filming that movie, he went on to do Dark Knight Rises and play Bane. So he just threw on 40 more pounds of just. Oh, so that's why he's just he just got massive in it, and it's so scary.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw Bane when he was shirtless. I was like, "Are you buff or are you fat?" And then I saw him snap a guy's neck. I was like, "You're strong."
Oh, yeah, like no, like that's the thing. It's like, and I liked how because in the comics and video games and stuff, Bane is just like.
Oh, he's huge! Like
this monstrous guy just got the venom pumping in him and stuff.
He has like a luchador door and he's got like chemicals pumping into his body.
Yeah, but so I liked how with Dark Knight Rises they brought it to a bit of reality to it and stuff. You know,
that'd be too nuts.
What?
That'd be too nuts.
Yeah, no, that's
not Nolan's style.
No, it's not. It's everything's got to be realistic stuff. But no, so Warrior though, really, really good.
That last fight scene is touching.
There you go. New topic. What's your best Bane impression?
Dude, if I had my altitude mask, I would do it. But
the mask that really helps.
Oh, you nearly adopted the
all right, we're changing topics now. Let's go back to
You need to watch Peaky Blinders though.
I know. You've recommended me for so long, and then is it Killian or Cillian?
Cillian
Murphy. Whoa, you're saying Killian, you're saying Cillian.
I've never heard it said, but I've been saying Cillian for like 3 years. So
I want to read it Cillian, but I've heard people say Killian, and then some people reporting and say Cillian. So I'm like, which one is it, Killian or Cillian? Like,
no idea.
It's with a C, so it's like I don't immediately think Killian.
Cat.
What?
Cat. It's not sad.
It's true, but then also there's an I and then a couple other. Yeah. What? Come on, hush.
I'm trying to do a Tom Hardy impression from Peaky Blinders, but I can't think of it.
No, he's got this English accent you can't understand half the time.
Well, it's probably his normal accent.
There's no difference between the dark bread and the white bread.
That's pretty close, but he's more like mumbly and like, what? Do I need subtitles for you?
You definitely need subtitles for that.
Do you want the white bread or the dark bread?
Have you, it's on Netflix. Have you seen that show, The Frankenstein Chronicles?
No.
It's actually not bad.
That's the one.
Sean Bean's in it.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It's pretty interesting.
Wait, what's
No, it's
it
actually
about?
pretty interesting. So it takes place, late 1800s, I think, or somewhere around there. And Sean Bean's like an investigator and stuff. And they notice children have been disappearing, and then they find bodies and stuff that are sewn together from multiple different children body parts, and he's investigating.
Is this the one with Tom McAvoy in it?
Tom McAvoy?
from X-Men?
What? James McAvoy?
James McAvoy.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm thinking of his brother.
Oh. What?
Keep going.
I'm really confused with that.
No,
But
no, the Frankenstein movie. With
no,
James
I was
McAvoy.
whatever. No, there is a Frankenstein movie though,
Oh.
but that's with Daniel Radcliffe as well, and that movie
Yeah.
just tanked.
Right.
So
Which-
those movies just don't.
Which movie?
James McAvoy.
I think it's just called Frankenstein or something like that.
Oh.
There's a lot of those movies that just don't fly by
Did
anymore.
you see that Daniel Radcliffe movie, Swiss Army Man?
No, I want it
No.
though.
Dude, that movie
It's
was
on.
so
It's on
good.
Amazon. You know it's
It
not.
looked a little weird.
No, is that the guy where he's like Inspector Gadget?
No.
Yeah,
but-
no.
Oh well,
he
kind of.
himself is.
Yeah.
He's like a dead body, but
Yeah.
like
I'm
that's
sorry, what?
not dead though. Like
I never
kind of.
understood that. Like,
I don't
what
know.
is he?
It's on Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon Prime.
I gotta
Yeah.
watch it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when
I think it was produced by
you-
them,
when you
or they
watch
bought
it,
the rights
you
for
just
it.
gotta watch it and like this movie's not gonna make any sense, and I don't expect it to, but you just gotta have fun with it.
Okay,
And,
I'm
yeah,
fine
you'll
with that.
enjoy it. Like,
Okay.
the movie's just
Interesting.
super good. It's super weird. And creepy.
I think he's one of the. I think he's the only actor of the those three that's kind of at least done the best to distance himself from that role.
Yeah.
Because you look at Emma Watson. Emma Watson's either doing feminist whatever stuff like that
Or
on
like
Twitter or
Disney
whatnot,
stuff.
or the Beauty and the Beast movie, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing else.
And
Or
then
a couple small films that just get horrible reviews and swept under the rug.
she was in. I haven't seen it, but I
Harry
heard
Potter.
she was in.
Okay, get out.
I didn't know that.
All right, well,
What is that movie with all the funny actors? This is the end.
yeah, okay,
She's
but
in
that's like
like-
a,
Oh,
she was
that's a
in there for
cameo.
like one
That whole
scene.
movie is based off cameo roles. That's it.
But she was
No,
in
but
that,
like,
which isn't even
We're
close,
yeah, but okay, the other actor who played Ron, Rupert Grint.
Has he been in anything?
You don't see him in anything.
Alive?
But no, he's still alive. He's just
You can't.
he's
but
probably
see,
collecting a fat royalty every time the
Oh,
movie plays
for
on TV.
sure.
They still get
I would
money
even
from it.
act again. I would be like, I'm done with Hollywood. Give me my paycheck every time.
Oh, you wouldn't have to. You wouldn't have to act anymore.
No, yeah, no,
Like-
for sure, yeah. What is that station that always plays Harry Potter? It's
I don't want
Like
to.
TNT.
I can't remember. It'll come to me later randomly, and I'll just shout it out.
Okay, we'll do that.
Yeah. No, there's some actors. I mean, look at even for Lord of the Rings, Elijah Wood.
Oh, he can't do anything.
Yeah,
No.
he really can't. Like there's nothing else. People are always gonna know him.
He did that sitcom for a while, but that was it.
What's it called?
That Wilford.
Oh, that's right.
Was he the guy that played the
Oh.
dog?
No, he was
No.
the dude who had the dog with him.
Yeah,
Oh.
that was
There's
interesting.
just some
but-
roles you can't get away from.
No.
Yeah, especially in movies like that. I mean, Mark Hamill. He's always going to be Luke Skywalker. I know he does a Joker and other stuff, but he's
and-
always
yeah.
going to be Luke
Right.
Skywalker.
He played when he was fat and not doing anything. He played like a psychopath on an episode of Criminal Minds.
Yeah, but like he's
Oh,
always
okay.
going to be
Oh,
Luke
yeah,
Skywalker.
yeah,
That's the
he
thing.
Can't be anything else.
Yeah, there's
I would love to see him in more stuff. Maybe.
Yeah,
I mean,
but-
maybe.
Yeah, but when the problem is when you see him in
he was in
an
Kingsman.
actor, when you see an
Very
actor in a
briefly.
movie
Oh, I
that
see.
long, it's like, can you even imagine them in another movie? You know, that's the problem.
Right.
I'm trying to think. Are there any other actors who have broken away from their role?
Uh, what are other long movies? Like, what are other movies that have a lot?
Well, Harrison Ford did a good job.
That's
Yeah,
what he did.
He did great.
yeah, because I mean he did multiple of them.
That's true.
So it's
At
like
the-
you have
at the
Indiana
same
Jones,
time.
Star Wars, and then all those other action movies and stuff. So he did good with that.
Yeah, he
But
was
any
in
now?
two movies that had a lot of serious,
Right.
and he broke out of both those.
Right.
But when you think of Indiana Jones, you think of Harrison Ford. Even if there's a new Indiana Jones, you're gonna be like
Did you
Harrison Ford.
did you hear? I think Steven Spielberg was saying that they're thinking about having a female Indiana Jones.
That's just
You're
Tomb
just
Raider.
trying too hard.
Yeah,
That's
that's
Tomb Raider.
basically just Tomb Raider.
Well, yeah, but it's like, and he was like, I think I remember hearing him say something like, "Oh, it's about time." It's like, no. Indiana Jones is Indiana Jones. You
It's
do not
Jones.
need to replace these characters with female to please this audience.
I mean,
Create
just make-
a new
yeah.
character.
Like, I don't want to be
If you
Debbie Downer on people trying to like branch out and all that, but look how Ghostbusters did when they did that whole
Oh,
female.
because
Oh.
no
Oh.
one asked for it, and then they're
No.
doing it with the Ocean
Oh,
series.
that looks
doing
like
that too.
dog shit.
They're doing that too.
Yeah.
Oh
Like,
my
it's
God.
not
The
that
what
it's
series?
females.
They're-
It just looks like
Yeah,
dog
and it's so
shit.
funny because they're like, oh, we could be just as funny and stuff like that. Then to be original about it.
Yeah,
Like, don't
for sure.
hijack another series for it just for your own political benefits because no one cares. It's not gonna do well. There's a lot of these action movies where it's like, what was that movie Atomic Blonde? That was like pretty much trying to be the female John Wick. Like
Right.
it was the
Yeah.
same style and
Yeah.
stuff. I never watched either movies, but I know the style they're going for. That was the same thing. be original,
Yeah.
and people will like it. Did you ever see that movie Salt with Angelina Jolie?
Oh
I
no,
did
I didn't
enjoy
see
that
it. I
movie.
know that.
I enjoyed it.
That was a
I
good
thought it was
movie.
good. It was pretty interesting stuff, but it was
Had a good
original.
twist.
You know, you have a good twist to it, but you don't have to do this like. You're gonna turn off these audiences if you immediately just go for this like we need to have female-led roles. If
It's
you,
lazy.
it really is because then at that point it's no longer about equality. It's not. It's never about
No,
equality.
you're
though.
just trying to appeal to the public when you think they're thinking.
Yeah,
towards
and then
that.
if it fails, then you have an excuse.
Right.
Oh, people didn't like it, because it's like it's a female-led thing. No, we didn't ask for female Ghostbusters. We don't want a female Indiana Jones. We
I
don't.
would have absolutely watched the female Ghostbusters if it looked good. It looked bad.
Well,
It didn't look funny.
well. I mean, I just don't think they should hijack a series, especially such a cult hit. You know.
Yeah, like a super good movie to
Yeah,
start
it's
with.
just
Yeah.
lazy.
Well, I mean, and then it ruins stuff too. Okay, connecting back to the Hobbit movie because I know you want to talk briefly about part of it. Did you see the Hobbit movies?
I only
Any of them?
watched two of them.
Two of them.
I remember I
watched-
watched one.
I watched two of
Okay,
them.
did you watch one with the female elf in it?
Yes, that's the second one, right?
Yeah,
I
second
don't
one and third one.
I don't remember.
She doesn't exist in the whole Tolkien universe. Her name, her character doesn't exist at all.
A female one?
The female
Wait, which
elf.
one? Which one?
She's with
Tariel.
the one Legolas, like,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, the one that Legolas liked, and then she likes one of the dwarves.
Oh,
stuff.
the one that liked the dwarf.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, she's not in the universe at all. She's not even a name referenced in a anything like that. They completely create her character up entirely, simply because people legitimately complained that the first Hobbit had too many males in it, too many male roles.
Right.
It's based
Wow.
off of the books. There's 12 dwarves. There's
Right.
a hobbit and a wizard. That's the story.
Right.
There's not like you do not alter these things like that. Now, if you want to, if there was already a character and you want to give them a bigger role, okay, because in Lord of the Rings, you have like a good. You guys haven't really remembered Lord of the Rings or seen it and stuff, but like a good example would be like Eowyn, the Lord of the Rings
That
movies.
blonde girl?
Yeah, the blonde chick. You can empower these characters, but without making it seem. The only time it comes off as feminist only, but even then it's in the book too, is when she like stabs the Witch King in the face, like when she says, "I am no man."
Oh, yeah.
But that's in the
that
book.
was, that was awesome.
That's
Oh,
but
yeah,
like
that was
but that's
cool.
a scene where
Yeah.
even like
Yeah.
no, gender
That's
has no play in it where you're like, oh, that's awesome,
Right.
That's awesome right there,
Right.
because it's like the whole thing is no man can
Okay.
kill him. But
Yeah, something.
yeah, when you have like this character from like the Hobbit movie and you're like, why did you have to create it? Just to satisfy people who like
Yeah.
still it's a useless character and they trash those books.
Did they make up the blonde girl too?
No, she's in it.
She's in there.
She's
Oh,
in
okay.
it. The whole prophecy of no man can kill the Witch King is true. She says the same line,
Oh,
everything
wow.
like that. It was in the books. So that's what made it great, is because
Mhm.
Tolkien knew how to create these specific characters and do all these certain ways with them and give them their powers in individual ways. They each had their own special thing about them, but then people have to twist them and do all this nonsense with it, and it's just
Yeah,
frustrating.
I guess it's kind of like when you're force feeding someone, they're not going to like the food you're giving them. It's kind of like what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just it's so frustrating for them to do that, and I hate when they just hijack that. Create something original, people will like it if it's good though.
Yeah.
Right.
It doesn't have to be on the nose and stuff, and you don't have to. That's why I hated. I watched the Oscars, and this whole stuff was like
Oh, I didn't.
how they're trying
I've
to
never-
where when they presented best director and stuff, and like there was I heard that they were like the announcers and stuff. These are the nominees and the one female director. Okay,
Be a better director.
yeah. Now I won't lie and say that there's no equal opportunity in Hollywood, but keep in mind as well. You look at the type of movies that are being made. The Hurt Locker. You guys watch that one?
I need
I
Hurt
still
Locker
need to
or
watch that.
Zero Dark 30? You watch
Zero
that
Dark
one?
Thirty is super good.
Catherine
I-
Bigelow, female
Super
director.
good.
What such an amazing
Song about
Movie.
hit movie.
Right. I got waterboarded after that movie
by who?
What?
by Ruby.
Oh, interesting.
Like
Wait,
I saw,
waterboarding?
yeah.
Because they do in the movie.
They do it in the movie, and I'm like,
Oh,
I-
isn't that water torture thing?
like where
Yeah.
you lay on your back and
They put the- yeah.
water.
So does it actually work?
Yeah.
It's hard to
Yeah.
hard to handle.
Like you can't breathe that.
right.
Yeah,
Like,
'cause
I was
it's-
watching. I was like, that's nothing. Let me do this. And then I was like,
Yeah. So, yeah. No. So, but like those movies there, critically acclaimed. Hurt Locker won Best Picture. All right, in the Oscars. Female director. Create a good movie. Doesn't have to be a war movie,
Right.
but create a good movie.
I have kind of a stupid question. Was that the same director that directed the original Point Blank?
Yep. Point Break. Yep.
Yeah.
That's the thing too.
Oh,
You
she
can
did that?
create
Yeah,
action
super
movies,
well.
but you don't have to be, if you're a female director, you don't have to be like, well, I'm a female director, so I have to have only female leads. But you just don't have to make it too on the nose. Zero Dark 30, the main lead is Jessica Chastain. Phenomenal. But not once in that movie you're like, oh, this is a strong, empowering woman.
No,
Like,
never
if
thought
it
that.
speaks to you, it speaks to you. But when I watched the movie, I was like, that is a great character. I'm understanding this character. It's about a character and not this gender crap.
I need to watch
I got
that.
something for you. So I worked at Park Rose for a while, and you guys ever have use CLR or have CLR in your house?
A what?
CLR,
What is that?
like calcium lime rust remover.
Yeah.
You see them on TV all the time.
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay. Yeah. I know.
On that bottle, there's a logo about an inch. It says "woman owned."
Really?
Who cares?
Congratulations.
Yeah. No, seriously, and it's so frustrating because you can't even explain this point because it's like you're a white man, you're blah blah blah, you're a
Hey,
male.
check your privilege.
Yeah, and people be like, oh well, you don't have to understand the struggle. What struggle? You're making a struggle for yourself. You make the struggle for yourself. I won't lie and say that there are some people who have unfortunate
People have
situations.
this-
There
yeah.
are certain things, but do not take that as an excuse. You cannot have excuses for yourself.
Right.
Even like, there was an interview on ESPN or whatever because they were talking about like the Black Lives Matter movement and stuff,
Mhm.
and Lil Wayne was on it. Okay, now it's funny because you think Lil Wayne, you're like, oh, is he gonna be the spokesperson for Black people, whatever? But they were trying to like bait him into saying that like, oh, you've had to deals with all this stuff like that, and he said, my whole life I've never dealt with racism, not once.
Yeah.
He said I've been blessed my whole life,
Right.
and he even said there was at one point where he accidentally shot himself in the stomach.
I heard
Did you
this.
hear about it?
No.
Okay, so there was I think he was on, I don't know what happened, the whole thing, but he accidentally shot himself, all right, in the stomach, and I don't know if he called 911 or a neighbor or something. Police came over. They bursted down the front door, and all the police officers jumped over him, looking all over. Where's the drugs? Where's all this stuff like that? And it was one officer who came up to him and was like, what are you guys doing? This guy's he's bleeding out, and like we call an ambulance. Like he's not gonna make it with an ambulance. He's not gonna make it waiting for it. The officer picked him up, got him to his car, drove him to the hospital, saved his life. And Lil Wayne said he's like, that police officer was white, so it's not a fact. Like
Right.
And I think you said a black police officer was
yeah, there were
looking
black
at
police
why.
officers who were looking for all the drugs
Right.
and stuff like that.
And he's like,
Right.
I've never
Now-
seen racism.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it's-
there
so-
is.
There are cases of racism,
I mean,
so
you
it's
have.
not.
I hate this whole check your privilege thing,
Yeah.
but I mean, you at some point there is some level of pressure that we don't understand.
I know, I completely
And I
get
was in a
that.
hot tub with that guy, the pilot,
Mhm.
and I just wanted to, I just wanted to get his insight on it. And he goes, it's really not that bad, but when you walk around, you basically get labeled for your entire race. Like the pressure is on you to represent your race. And I guess that's what it's like when you're any minority in any situation. Like when you and I went to the
Yeah, I remember.
the open house at Clark College for colored people.
Yeah.
We didn't know that
Yeah.
last two words, and
Yeah.
we went.
Yeah, and yeah, I was kind of given a very bad brief description of what I was going to, so I
Right.
went.
That was my bad.
Yeah.
I kind of had you go with me. I didn't know until we were there.
Yeah, I remember sitting there and I was like, "This is the first time I've
this
ever been
is-
a minority." It's weird,
Right,
but
I
like,
know.
it's not. It wasn't terrible, you
It,
know.
no, it wasn't. Everyone was nice,
Yeah,
and there was people
everyone
who
was
there was definitely
super
lectures that were towards minorities. That when they saw us, they had to tweak it a little bit to not go so far.
Yeah, I think they were expecting a whole group of minorities, but when we
Oh.
were
There was
there-
like 300 people, and then Avery and I,
yeah,
the two
Ah,
whitest
okay.
people you could imagine.
Yeah. No, like okay. Again,
So-
I understand there are actual
Yeah.
situations. It happens. I think it's ignorant for anyone to say that there's no racism in America,
Oh, absolutely.
or not even just America.
Oh, there
But
for sure is.
but what I can't stand is also what people say like, oh, racism only happens in America. My dad went to Africa. He was incredibly when they see white people,
Right.
dude.
they love them. I'm just kidding.
No, not necessarily. Literally, like they were like hiding stuff. They literally were calling, like my dad goes, literally like they start teasing you and stuff like that. Like they
Right.
will randomly come up to you and pinch you, poke you and stuff, and basically be like they don't believe it, you know. But it's like it happens elsewhere. Now from a
Right.
I don't like
Racism's everywhere.
yeah.
I mean,
It's
would you
all from
technically
all
consider
races.
that racism? It's a third world country, and first of all, they probably haven't even like not to be
That's
mean.
a
or
good
no,
point.
well, okay.
They probably
no,
haven't
it
even
was-
seen a white man. They're like,
yeah, well, like
what
they
is-
see occasional, but they're very young and stuff like
yeah,
that.
I
I
know.
mean,
But
a
like
little
there are
bit.
certain
They're like, what is he?
there are certain
He's
areas
white.
though.
Okay.
There are certain areas though where yeah, it's different, you know.
Yeah.
So, but it's like also, but you could be white there and be discriminated.
Yeah.
Therefore, that's racism. Like it's not attached, and I can't stand how people also will be like, it's only for black people.
Oh, I've seen
There-
all the time where it's
what-
like, someone says something and it's like, well, it's not racist because you're black. So you can say it. It's like, well, you're discriminating against another race, therefore it is racist.
Yeah,
Racism
exactly.
isn't a white person thing. It's an any person thing against any other group.
No, seriously, and I couldn't stand when the Oscars a few years ago when they had that whole Oscars so white hashtag thing, whatever like that. Do you know who won back to back? The only director to ever win back to back to best director, stuff like that, was a Mexican.
Yeah.
He did The Revenant and Birdman.
Oh, Revenant was
And before that, okay, the past 4 directors pretty much that have won have all been Hispanic. You have Alfonso Cuarón, who did Gravity. You have, and then both times, Alejandro González Iñárritu, who did The Revenant and Birdman. And then you have, just recently, Guillermo del Toro. So,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
so the past 4 Oscars has been 3 Mexicans.
The only reason you don't hear about this though is because it doesn't make good media. That's,
Well, obviously,
right.
everything has to be a
But it
soundbite.
also doesn't
for sure.
fit the left's narrative.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing that happened with the YouTube shooting, all right? All right. Okay, but you know what I heard? It was like on MSNBC, which it's funny.
Uh-huh.
I go to MSNBC not to get actual news. I just want to see how the left twists it. So I like to go at multiple sources. MSNBC though is like they're very open about being liberal.
They're-
They don't hide it. CNN definitely is like, whoa,
I would
we're
say-
objective.
I would say they're worse than Fox News about them being right.
Yeah, I would say that too because at least Fox sometimes tries to be objective, like subjective to it, but like
Right.
the-
And there's definitely some people on Fox that like Hannity.
Yeah.
Like, don't give a fuck.
Oh yeah, they really don't. So, but like MSNBC is like the far liberal and stuff like that, you know. Like during the election, well, every other media outlet was calling it, saying Trump's gonna win and stuff like that. They were still saying Hillary 215, Trump like 220. It's like okay, come on now, you can't. Come on, literally, I remember it though. It's like they were the last ones to call it and stuff. They're like too close to call. No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It really was.
Yeah.
It was get wrecked, like RKO. Like, come on, like, no, but I'm confused here, but
Did you ever see that video of Joe Rogan, like that animated video where Joe Rogan is doing the Arnold Schwarzenegger impression and he's talking like Hillary Clinton and he's
I
like,
think so.
he was, oh yeah, Eddie Bravo was there and he's like, Arnold, give your impression or give your thoughts on Hillary Clinton. He's like, I think she's a nice woman, but I think when you hang around too nice of people, I think people just tend to off themselves.
What the heck?
Yeah. Oh man.
So ridiculous.
Yeah, but it's so, but like with the YouTube shooting thing, okay. There was someone on the MSNBC who was like, "Oh yeah, it appears this was done with a semi-automatic weapon. It was a semi-automatic handgun. Pretty much every handgun is semi-automatic. You pull the trigger, the next bullet gets ready. That's how it is. Don't be tossing semi-automatic because you're trying to fit your agenda."
That's what a legal gun is.
Yeah,
Semi-automatic.
yeah. Literally everything. Revolvers are semi-automatic, pretty much. Like unless it's a musket, like
It's an assault revolver.
assault
AR.
revolver.
It's an AR assault revolver.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't stand that.
You know what's funny is the shooting you didn't hear about is the one where the armed security guard in Maryland, I believe.
Where he just was a pussy the whole time.
No, that was
not
before.
Oh yeah, I know
where
which one.
he shot
Yeah,
the shooter before
it was on the
anything
news for less than 2 hours, and then it disappeared.
Yeah,
I remember because they're like, oh, it worked.
because good guys with guns don't fit the left's narrative.
It's so crazy. It's ridiculous, and I can't stand when they keep saying, "Look how many school shootings have happened this year." Those numbers are jacked. You know why, right? Have you heard about it?
No, I
So,
haven't.
do you know about it?
Yeah, I think we talked about it.
Yeah, so when they say, like, when the Parkland shooting happened, they were like, there have been 18 school shootings that's happened so far this year and stuff like that. There's really, of those 18 that they're saying, there's really about like 3 or 4 at the time, including Parkland. The other ones were people who like decided to, like, at 3 a.m. in the morning, drive in the parking lot of a school, commit suicide.
Oh, really?
That's considered school shooting.
Yeah.
If there's a shooting nearby a school and a bullet whizzes by the school or it's right next to it, school shooting.
Yeah.
So it jacks that number up. When they say there have been 30,000 gun deaths in America, that's including suicide.
It's including.
It's
suicide?
including
I don't think that
suicide.
should be including.
It shouldn't, because then the number is like dropped under, like, well under 10,000. So it's like at that point,
Does that also include accidents, like gun accidents?
it
Like-
includes all of it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
All of
Anything
it.
to do
So
with
anything to
guns.
jack
And, like,
that number up high.
Any like gun homicide numbers you see, a majority of them are suicides.
Oh
They
yeah.
won't tell you that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, that makes sense.
And it's so stupid because then people are like, oh, well, if we get rid of the guns, then they won't be killing themselves. Nope, they're going to kill themselves.
You see the
The gun's just the
samurai
fastest
doing
way.
that? Yeah, they use a sword.
Yeah.
You know?
But,
There's always gonna be a way to offset.
okay, dude,
And,
yeah.
and the term school zone is kind of confusing because I know at work when we get a lot of speeding tickets, it was like speeding in the school zone, so the fine is huge.
Yeah.
But it's like this guy was like 10 blocks away, like 4 streets over.
Yeah. Yeah. No, seriously, and that's why when the school shootings happen, if it's a shooting that happens, like, if there was a shooting happen right here, we're so close to Weiss, people will, the news would say it's a school shooting.
And we're not.
Or they would say,
We're not
school-
delegitimizing school shoot like actual school.
no, it's
shootings.
No, those are
it's
terrible. That's one of the
absolutely
worst things you can do.
tragic.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But it should be dealt case by case, and with this one, the only people to blame is the government on it, because they visited that kid within I believe it was 2 years, 39 times they visited the kid. 39 times. He was expelled. He had multiple issues and stuff like that, multiple concerns. If there were any type of like mental, more like, I'm trying to think of like any better laws on dealing with people with any mental issues or stuff like that, you
Right.
know, then deal with it, you know, like, hey, I think this guy's off the fritz. Let's get a court order and have the like go, and then they can temporarily keep him under hold or take away his guns for a temporary time, and then until he seems fit, then. But like go through a process.
I agree. I don't agree with the whole take away the guns.
Okay, you don't have to take away guns, take away the person for a bit.
Sure.
Sure. Do
There
that,
was
taking
one
a
they got right though. There was a student who was living with roommates.
Yes.
You heard about this too,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
with the yeah,
he was
I heard.
stockpiling guns for a mass
Yeah.
shooting. And
Yeah, and because though he missed a day of class, he because he was a Chinese student on a visa,
Yeah.
kicked back.
Yeah,
But-
but the government knew. They're like, you know what? You haven't been going to school. You're out of here. Go back to your country.
Yeah. But it's like honestly,
Wow.
but yeah. So with the Parkland shooting though, 39 times they didn't do anything. Every time they visited, like, doesn't seem like a threat. Really? I think after 2 times, it's a threat.
Now let's try to avoid using names, but the kid at our school, who brought like a knife to school.
Yeah,
to,
let's not use names
to
for
kill
shooters or something
to
like that. Or
kill
anything
to
like
kill a student at our own school.
Yeah.
was taken away after someone saw the knife, and then what was it? A few weeks later.
that. I think it was a few weeks later he came
a
back.
few weeks later, he was allowed to come back to the school. Okay.
Wait, he came back? I didn't know he
Yeah,
came back.
he came back.
Is it bad that I don't know who we're talking about?
It's fine.
Do you remember
I
that
can tell you
kid?
about it later.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Tell me off air.
Okay,
But
yeah.
this kid was going to murder somebody at our school with a knife.
Yeah,
he
he-
had the weapon, and he was then allowed to come back.
Yeah, I don't agree
Crazy.
with that. He had a mental disability, but like straight on here. But like
It's
still,
a mental problem.
no, it shouldn't be, because like he shouldn't have been allowed to come back. He even like accidentally like assaulted his mom and stuff. He's got like a lot of issues and stuff like that. But like, and he was put in handcuffs and everything like that.
Yeah.
It's like that's just a threat to other students.
And
I felt uncomfortable
I
having to
didn't
be
find
next
out
to
about
him.
this until after I graduated.
Oh, I had to be next to him the whole time, a good portion of the year. Yeah,
Wow, okay.
this kid who danced like Michael Jackson a lot. If that rings a bell.
Nope.
Okay, I'll tell you.
But I'm kind of piggybacking off Joe Rogan here. But how many of those shooters have like mental disorders where they're on?
I mean,
Yeah,
I
feel like
think
you have to have a mental disorder. To go
yeah,
shoot a
I
kid.
feel like you have to
Yeah, but how many?
to
of
do
them-
to that extent.
Yeah, for sure. But like, do you think there's a point when those psychiatric drugs just push you over the edge?
Oh,
Oh,
because
right,
yeah,
right.
well,
I
yeah.
don't know.
Because from what he was describing it as, it's like you just don't care anymore. Like there's
yeah,
no
well, they
consequences.
completely eliminate, because if you have this feeling of depression, you're taking drugs to eliminate that depression.
Yeah.
You're eliminating other feelings, emotions,
Yeah,
and
like
stuff.
there's no regrets here. I can do whatever I want, and I feel like that's where a lot of it, not all of them, of course, but I feel like
No,
a lot can come from.
that's where I think it come from. But I honestly think at the very root of everything, that what people need to for the whole argument stuff that people need to agree on doesn't have to be not making a religious thing. I think everyone needs to agree. Everyone has evil in them. Everyone has evil in them.
Oh, circling back to the Dark Knight.
Sure. Yeah. No. That's
Full circle. Here we
yeah.
go.
No, but like
I mean,
everyone
everybody has the potential to be the worst person on earth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
that's-
think about it. Are you naturally? Did someone teach you how to lie? You know. No. You
No.
just know it. You're born with it.
You adapt to it. You learn it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For me, I'd say you're born with just this instinct to not be perfect. Okay. As humans, everyone knows we're not perfect, but the problem I hate is how everyone's just like, oh, why are these people doing and stuff. People have evil in them, and either they're being surrounded by the wrong people. You have this little fire here, and it's depending what you're putting in it. What are you doing to? How are you getting this fire going in you? That fire can be for good, can be bad. People snap. I completely get that, but like I mean, everyone has evil in them, so it's not to say that we can't do anything about it to prevent these shootings and stuff like that, but to act as if like if you take away the guns, it's not going to happen anymore. And I can't when people say the event with Australia, because I don't know if you've heard that reference. People say, oh well, there was a mass shooting and stuff like that in Australia in like 1996 or something, and then there was a what the leftists and stuff will say was there was a buyback program. They took away the guns. No more mass shootings.
But there's a lot they didn't get, right?
Well, first off, it was a mandatory buyback. So it was required by law to give your guns up. And then also they don't have the US Constitution. We have the Constitution giving us the right to bear arms. Not like, yes, it's to, hunting or protect yourself from your home, but it's to protect yourself from a tyrannical government. And that doesn't mean in today's time overseas, it means our own current one.
Yeah.
If the government, if the government wants to start interpreting now the First Amendment, like free speech, saying like, if I refuse to call a transgender by their pronouns, stuff like that, I technically have the right. I have the constitutional right to say that.
You're kind of just a dick, but you do have the right.
But you have the no. You have the
do technically
you have the right.
Okay.
The freedom of speech.
So just on this thing that I pulled up on Bing, from the first thing that popped up, I don't know how accurate this is, but according to the data.
Well, from what source?
From Slate.com.
Okay.
And I'm being lazy here. 279 victims since 1980 have died in school shootings. It's horrible that it's even one.
Yes.
But is removing an entire right or disarming everybody? Does that?
Yeah, it makes no sense. It's completely tragic. And you know what's funny? One of the worst school shootings that happened, Virginia Tech, that was done with handguns.
Yeah.
So it's like, why are we even talking about the AR-15? The only reason it's AR-15 is commonly used is because it's one of the most common. It's the common. Yeah, but you know what's funny is like I can't stand gun. Yeah, it's easy to use, but in a sense, it's still not easy to use. Like guns are not like Call of Duty. You just pick it up and you can aim. Like I hate when these shootings happens, like with police officers and stuff, and like, well, why did the officer have to shoot him in the chest? Why couldn't you shoot him in the arm? If you have enough time to aim for the arm and be precise like that, you have way more time than needed. Like you have enough time to get away, or you have enough time for call stuff like that. That requires more precision. If someone's charging at you, whatever happens like that, when you're using a gun, if you're using it to defend someone, you're not aiming for the arm. You're aiming for the chest.
Look, if my life is in danger and there's someone running,
you aim for the chest.
And that's it. Like you don't train like on targets to shoot arms. You shoot center mass because you don't shoot. You never shoot to wound. You always shoot to kill because shooting is your last.
And it's easy to point a finger when it's not you, but I guarantee you, if it's anyone else, be like, it's my life. I'm taking this out. I'm not risking it.
That's the thing too. And I love listening to like Steven Crowder because he talks all about this, debates people. There was a couple of years ago, there was these teenagers who broke into a guy's house, intended to rob the place and everything. Broke in the middle of the night. The guy had an AR-15, and I think he shot one of them. All right, shot and killed one of the kids. All right, and literally they were complaining, saying he shouldn't have the AR-15 made it unfair for the kid.
What?
When you
No.
break in someone's house, you're
No,
breaking law.
that's
You
unlawful.
void your right of protection.
Yeah.
Yep.
For
You
sure.
you
For sure.
voided your right to life because at that point you're breaking into someone else's property. It's
Potentially harming someone else.
Was it at night?
it was at night.
Okay, so there's like
You have no idea when someone breaks in. Again, you're not
No.
shooting to wound. You shoot to kill because it's like you're not supposed to be in my house.
you neutralize the threat.
I mean,
Exactly.
Look at it this way: if that guy had a family, he doesn't know.
He did
what's
have
going-
family too.
No.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what's going on
Uh-uh.
downstairs.
Yeah.
It's night.
Yep.
They could have a gun for all he knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, and how people are like, oh, well, why couldn't they do a handgun? First off, it's none of your business. It really isn't any of your business on whether I have an AR-15 and stuff. And then when people say, you don't need these fully automatic weapons and stuff, you cannot get a fully automatic weapon unless you have like a military background, like
Or
very
you
specific
have to-
personnel.
You have to have I don't know a whole
There-
lot about this, but in order to I could get an automatic weapon if I had a lot of money and a lot of time to wait.
There's a
it's
huge
paperwork,
process.
It's paperwork, money, and time.
Yeah, and it's a way more longer process to get an automatic weapon, and even then, it's like a small percentage of people are even allowed to have it
Right.
too.
I have a friend who has a special license to buy and sell guns, and he's like, I don't even want an automatic weapon because I don't have the time, I don't have the money. I can get one.
Yeah.
I just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah. So, but and when people say, "Oh, you shouldn't have an automatic weapon and stuff like that," the AR-15s aren't automatic. They're semi. You look at hunting rifles. There's Stephen Carter showed like there's the old Civil War guns. I forgot what it's called, but where like you
Oh, lever action.
lever action. How a guy shot off.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
yeah, it's like he shot it like as if it's so crazy fast, man. And it's like you can do it, but
That's
like you
like
could
the-
hold it to someone and be like, "Is this okay?" Yeah, sure. You
That's like the whole
AR-15.
bump stock thing. It's like
Yeah.
I can shoot an AR or whatever gun about as fast as someone can shoot a bump stock. It's just finger. The whole reason a bump stock was invented was for people with disabilities who can't get that finger action.
Yeah.
Wait, what's a bump stock?
So
A bump stock is a stock that fits onto your rifle, and when you pull the trigger, the recoil pushes it back, and then it spring loads forward, pushing the trigger against your finger, and then pulling the trigger again.
yeah, so instead of you
Oh,
like
wow.
pulling instead of you like pulling and then have to click,
Yeah.
it'll just be like pop pop
The
pop
gun-
pop pop
the
pop.
gun rocks.
Oh wow.
So it's
So
not
it's just you essentially just pulling the trigger super fast.
but you don't yeah,
Right.
but you don't hold it down. Like you still have to pull the trigger. It
Right.
just helps do it faster
Oh,
and stuff.
okay.
But yeah, it's so ridiculous with
And
how it's
that's
gone now.
illegal.
I don't
right?
want everyone here.
It's not.
It's not.
No.
It's not, but like Trump has said that he wants to ban it. So
Well, he said he wants it to be re-looked at.
yeah. But you know what's also funny how everyone's like, oh, Trump's got his hands in the NRA. There's video of him basically like talking to his lawyers and all that stuff like that too, where he's just like, okay, what are we doing about raising the age
Yeah.
or bump stocks and stuff? And he's like, you know why you don't want to look at it? He's like, because you guys are scared of the NRA. Why don't we look at it? So it's like even
Yeah,
the ignorance
no.
of people who are like, he has his hands with the NRA.
Trump is not loyal to the right.
He's not. He's the one of the most like liberal Republicans. Like
Right.
I don't get to where people are like, oh, he hates the gays. His casinos are run by a bunch of like gay people. It's like-
He came out pro-gay. Like
yeah,
pro, like not
Same-sex
let's
rights.
just say pro-gay.
sure.
Before Hillary Clinton did.
Yeah.
And Hillary Clinton was against it.
Oh, all the way until 2013.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, she was-
For the longest time, she would
Yeah.
just say, no, it's between marriages, man and woman and stuff. And then when she started realizing, go in the political world, she's like, this is what I say now. She's,
Yeah.
yeah, and not trying to go too far into the political world and stuff,
Yeah.
but like why people keep saying that is it late?
Yeah. But we're good. We're doing good.
Yeah, okay. Well, like how everyone's like, oh, well, Trump was a better candidate. Trump was not a good candidate.
No.
Trump was a horrible candidate.
None of them are good
But
candidates.
the reason he won, though, was not because he was better than Hillary. It's because
No.
Hillary just sucked.
Well,
She
everyone
was the
tired
worst
of the
candidate.
system. I mean,
Yeah.
No one was
yeah.
seeing change.
Well, like what Roseanne,
Yeah,
the new Roseanne, it's
yeah, I
supposed
saw-
to be like Republican, pro-Trumpish. or
yeah,
whatever.
we'll
And it's like booming.
Oh, yeah.
Ratings are nuts on that show.
we'll see how long though, because you know Tim Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on Jimmy Kimmel and he said he went to Trump's inauguration not because to support Trump. He said he just wanted to go to an inauguration. He hasn't had to in the previous times in his life. He wanted to go to it, and a month or two after his show, which had great reviews, great
Oh,
support, and
yeah,
everything,
it was-
canceled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They just canceled it.
It's all political.
Because he went to the.
They won't say that, but it's because
Wow.
that's because they were like saying, "Oh, it was poor performance." No, it had really good reviews and everything.
Wow.
So yeah, it's ridiculous.
Crazy how everything gets tied into that. Like everyone assumes Trump is a bad guy. Like I'm not a big fan of Trump.
No.
But I'm still kind of piggybacking this from that comic that we saw on that podcast. But it's like the more I see people complaining about Trump, it's like the more I start to like the guy because it's like I'm not a fan of his, but like I'm enjoying seeing everyone else bitch about it forever. You know, it's like get over it. You know, it's like the more you bitch about it, the more I'm going to kind of support him. You know, like prove him wrong.
Yeah,
man.
well, and then also
Prove
everyone's
me
like,
wrong.
"Oh, impeach him." Okay, so then you have Mike Pence. I don't like him either. Impeach him. All right, well, you have Paul Ryan. I don't like him. Okay, you can only go so far down.
Yeah.
Like, think about it here. Just the whole purpose is to work with him, but not be like, no, I don't agree with anything he says.
No.
Okay, well, then nothing's getting done.
How many people can we impeach until we get to Nancy Pelosi?
Oh, I hope not. I mean, is that their goal, maybe? Like,
Probably. Like, that's their poster child now. I bet she's going to run.
he won't even get impeached. You need 2/3 of the Senate, of the House and Senate.
He hasn't done anything. I don't like the guy. I don't think he's evil. I think he's just kind of dumb.
Yeah, definitely not fit for the role.
He's not, in no way is he have that, like,
But in the thing, politics is that you weren't, when it was first designed, the system, you weren't like, it wasn't supposed to be a career thing. Like, you weren't supposed to be like beat down and molded for politics. It was supposed to be the people's thing.
yeah. And so
Honestly,
now,
I don't think he thought he was going to win.
Oh,
I
I
know.
know.
He just got lucky.
No, I think he was gonna win.
I
He
think-
knew it.
I think on election, well, he didn't pick any of his appointments.
I think
Hillary-
he wanted to see
Hillary
how far
Clinton.
he could take it. And
No,
see.
I honestly wholeheartedly, because even on well before election night, with all the polls saying that Hillary's gonna wreck him, he has such a slight chance. All of his advisors, all of his campaigners were like, when they were calling, like, "Are you guys worried?" They're like, "No, we got this," and because they knew.
Let's just be optimistic, though.
No. It's because they knew about the silent majority. Silent majority is what won Trump.
heard-
It was people who were like, if you said, you know, I kind of like some of his policies. You're a racist. You're a Nazi. You're a fascist. All right, I won't say anything about it. I'll let my vote do the talking.
Right.
And that's what happened.
That's how I usually am. Like, I'm super conservative. I won't get involved in debates.
Yeah,
I just vote.
yeah. I mean, like that's the thing. It's
Oh, there's no point. People won't sit down like this and just talk.
Right.
Yeah.
oh
People
no,
sit offended.
no, because and I hate how the word fascist and Nazi is thrown around so
Yeah, 'cause
easily.
that
Or white
derives
supremacists
the
and
real
stuff.
term. Like when you're throwing around Nazi, what's the real Nazi then? What is that?
Exactly.
Ultra
It's
worse Nazi. Like,
so literally,
Yeah.
if you don't agree with it, like if you believe, I mean, honestly, if you don't want to identify, call a transgender or something like that,
Mhm.
yeah, you might be a dick, but you're not a Nazi. You're not a fascist, whoever like that. If you're like, hey, you know what? If I want to so-called Caitlyn Jenner or he, I can do it. You know,
Yeah.
I legally have the right. And everyone's like, hate speech isn't covered by the First Amendment. Yes, it is.
it's words coming out of my mouth. That's free speech.
Yeah, it's
Not a
you
real-
have the right to do it. You have
I mean,
hate
yeah,
speech
I
is
would
covered
probably
by
never
it.
say that because I don't really care. It's your choice. I'll call you whatever I want or
Yeah.
whatever you want. But I mean, if I wanted to, I'm not a Nazi. I'm just a dick.
Yeah, no, hate
Yeah.
speech is but you
Yeah.
have the right to
Yeah.
do it. You have the right to be in the KKK. You have the right to all this stuff in the U.S. That's
you're a
the thing.
piece of shit if you're in the KKK.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
right.
no.
Yeah,
It's
you're
not
pretty
not
low.
defending for one moment, but
You're
like,
pretty low on the totem pole. Probably
Yeah.
the dirt holding up the totem pole. But
oh, that's
I am the Grand Master Dragon of
Yeah.
the KKK.
yeah, no, but it's like you have the right to say it, and that's it. You look at all these other countries and stuff, and how like everyone compares to. At the end of the day, they don't have
same
the
right.
U.S. Constitution. No other country in the world grants you the right to free speech. You have no other.
Right.
Australia, Canada,
I have
you
a
don't.
story.
Go
This
for it.
guy in, I think it was Scotland, a country that doesn't have free speech. His girlfriend got this dog, and I guess he
I saw it.
hated this dog,
oh, yeah,
And he taught it to.
and he was like, and he taught the dog to freak out over like gas the Jews, and like the dog would like bark like you would just say
And
like,
it-
do you want food? But like he would say, you want food? The dog would do nothing. Like you want to go on a walk? The dog would do nothing. But he trained this dog to get excited over gas the Jews.
Yeah, or do you hate the Jews? Or he'd be like, sing Heil,
Yeah.
Sig Heil,
Right.
and the dog would start doing that.
And he did
Like
it
that.
out of humor because he hated this dog, and it was
Wow.
super
Yeah.
funny.
Horrible thing to do. It's just, it's
Oh, absolutely.
straight dick.
Obnoxious.
It was
but
done with no malice, just
Yeah.
as poor humor that is extremely funny.
it's funny because of how stupid it is.
Right.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
like, dude, real, how old are
That's
you?
something
Like,
you'd see on
it's-
Reddit for like 10 seconds. You would laugh and then you'd move on.
yeah,
This guy was in jail for 5 years. He's going to be in jail for
Yeah,
5
Because
years
he did that.
yeah.
because you can't say stuff like that.
And you
in
know
another
what? It
country.
wasn't
Wow.
even that someone reported it. The police found it on YouTube
Yeah.
and then went to arrest him.
Wow.
So anyone who
Dude.
compares to all these other countries and stuff just need to just wipe that all clean.
Take a breather.
Yeah,
okay.
it's like you don't
We're
have the
gonna
right
get through
you don't
this.
have the right to free speech over there and all this stuff. Same thing with Canada. Canada has their own messed up laws too. You know, in Canada, if you have a kid, all right, who very young and if you have a son and then all of a sudden your son's like, I want to be a girl, all right? If you do not start acknowledging and doing that, you can literally have your kids taken away from you. And if you don't decide to take your kid through the medical transition process, your kid can be taken away from you. So if your kid's like, I want to be a girl, and goes through a phase or whatever like that, starts saying that, wants to dress like that, but if you do not go through the process of like getting the kid surgically done or whatever like that, your kid will be taken away and you can be jailed for that.
Look,
What?
I'm all for people
That's
going through
insane.
sex changes if they want it. I don't care. Like, it's your life. It doesn't bother me.
Right.
But when it's a kid and parents are like, my son wants to be a girl now. Your kid is 5.
Yeah,
Right.
He still has hormones
Right.
to produce.
Yeah, he doesn't know,
Even
like,
when
I-
you're older,
he knows
like in
nothing.
high school.
When I was young, I wanted to, because I legit wanted to be named Roger, okay? And I
Right.
told my mom that. 2 weeks later, I was like, no, I want to go back to Paul.
Yeah.
I didn't go and
Kids
change
don't
my name to
know.
Roger.
Right.
Right. Even when you're older, like I was in high school and I drew a bass clef on my forearm because I really loved playing bass. And like I had this on my arm for like 6 months, and I wanted this tattooed on me so bad before I was 18, but my mom wouldn't sign off on it because she's like, "You're not gonna want that." And I'm like, "I hate you, Mom. You're the worst. I want this.
Nope.
I want it forever." And then I was like, "Mom, I'm so glad you
Yeah.
didn't sign off."
We've
on
all been there. We've
Yeah.
all been there.
Honestly, for even being 18 years old, under 18, like
You
you
still
could be
don't know.
18, you still don't know. You think you know
Mhm.
anything, everything. I don't know everything.
that. No.
I don't know everything. I'm
Still
turning,
don't know.
I'm
It's-
turning 23. You don't know
Until you know that
anything.
you know
Yeah,
nothing.
we're still fucking stupid.
Yeah, no, seriously, but like,
I'm probably gonna be stupid up until the day I die. Like, that's how it is, you know? You're constantly learning. That's it.
yeah. And so that's the thing. It's like, if you want to do it when you're way older, sure, but just like double check and everything. If you want to start dressing like that,
Make
that's
sure it's what
fine.
you want.
But understand, you don't revert back from it. All right?
There's no going back.
Yeah, it's literally like for a tattoo, at least you could get that like removed,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it won't be technically fully removed. There'll still be an imprint of it, and it's not going to be fun, but like that's you're mutilating your body. Essentially what you are is you're doing that. That's what you are.
I don't get like affected by gore, but I saw the male to female transition surgery. I got lightheaded and I almost passed out.
I
watching
don't
it.
Yeah.
wanna see that.
And you know what's so ridiculous too is like for them doing it at a young age too, a lot of doctors will say it's not even healthy to do it at a young age because there's not
You
enough.
can't even get LASIK
Yeah.
until you're like what 25.
Yeah, it depends. You can get it earlier, but they generally will say if it's like within 3-4 years your vision hasn't changed, or within such small increments
Right.
it's changed, whatever like that, then you can. But they say around 25. But
So if you can't get LASIK, how about you keep your dick?
yeah, so but like when you're young and stuff, even doctors say it's not healthy because there's not enough tissue to like for going male to female. There's not enough tissue to like revert it in. Like there's not enough tissue. It's disgusting. It's gross. But it's
Yeah,
like
I mean, it's
so
logical.
you're literally mutilating children
Yeah.
because they have an idea in their head. It's like, okay, well, how about you just wait a little bit?
Yeah.
See, give that kid 2 weeks because
He
what if they
probably-
change their mind?
He or she probably got that opinion or thought of what they wanted from something else. Let them just grow their own opinion.
Yeah.
Let them become themselves, and then if they still want that, then you kind of know that that's what they wanted this whole time. You
Yeah.
know?
And you know what's so absurd is how everyone will just like bite into it though. But it's like that one lady who literally said she was black, but she's not. She was born white parents, everything, but she decided to dye her skin black,
See,
everything,
that-
same hairstyle, and everyone's been like, oh, well, that's ridiculous.
Oh,
You
Elizabeth
know?
Warren, Pocahontas.
No, not Pocahontas. Yeah.
But there's a lady who said she was black.
Yeah, she said she believes she's black. She works for like the NAACP and everything like that. She literally dyed her skin like darker shade, new hairstyle, everything like that. literally said she believes her black and she believes she's black.
That's a
And her-
special kind of stupid.
Yeah, but it's so funny how it's like, I technically don't have the right to call you that. You can call yourself black if you want. I do not have to, by my First Amendment right,
Yeah.
don't have to call
I
you
mean,
that.
Yeah, you have the same makeup of skin I do. No, that's not happening.
Yeah.
Biologically, we're pretty close to each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there comes a point where it's super extensive, you know, and it's like, how far am I willing to reach out to help your feelings? Sometimes it's not. It depends. Am I hungry?
And that's the thing.
Because
Well, that's the thing too, and that's why there shouldn't be legislation on it, because at that point, that is a gateway to controlling free speech.
Right.
Because the moment they can do that,
Yeah.
I mean, you look at what's happening on YouTube with Facebook and all this stuff like that, you know, it's just a gateway. The moment you can say, because then you have to start identifying what is considered hate speech, because it's like, what is that? Like, you can say, oh, it's rude things about race, stuff like that. Well, define it, because now it's like, if a black person insults a person online or in person about them being white or something, will that be allowed under the hate speech? Like,
Right.
there, all it's gonna do is it's just gonna open up this gate of like, okay, now the First Amendment is vulnerable.
Yeah.
That's what it is, and at that point, because there are a lot of these people at these whole March for Our Lives, all these other stuff, who are like, who are trying to interpret it or saying Second Amendment doesn't, it's not as relevant today. It's like, well, if you're saying that to the Second Amendment, are you saying that to the First Amendment and every other amendment?
Right.
Like, all these other stuff. It was all designed with intention for the future.
The reason the Japanese didn't launch a full-on land assault on America
they knew they'd get-
in World War II is because
Texas alone.
Americans own guns.
Yeah.
The Japanese president said that.
Oh yeah, yeah. They
said
they
there would
legit
be-
said that. We're like,
He said there'd be
He legit said
like
that?
a barrel behind every blade of grass if we attacked the U.S. homeland.
yeah.
You know, I'm convinced Texas could go to war with the rest of America and win.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Doesn't the guy who owns the most guns in the world live in Texas?
Oh, probably. There's not. I think it's
are
like
people that own
there's
guns.
another state. It's like Montana or Iowa that actually has more guns per capita than Texas. And I forgot which one it was.
And also, the whole like taking away gun type deal. There's over 300 million guns in the U.S. They're not going anywhere.
No.
You're not taking them from people. Good luck.
And you're not even gonna find them all.
And then it's
No.
like, who's gonna take them? If you have government officials, it's like, so you're seizing my weapon.
And the people who own
Nice.
guns,
Good luck with that.
I
Who's
bet you
gonna-
there'll be some
who's
retaliation.
gonna give them?
Oh, more
There'll
than
be some
some.
huge.
Yeah, I think going forward, I think people are gonna have to be very careful going about this because it could go so bad. You
Yeah.
know?
I don't think it's going anywhere.
No.
I don't think
I
so.
don't think it will, but it could. It
Even
has
a lot of
potential
Democrats
to.
they're just play it off because it's a sympathy card, and it's sad, but
Right.
it's, yeah. So
Right.
All right, well, let's wrap it up.
yeah,
Paul, we're
Paul?
going to have you back.
Paul, you have been fantastic.
yeah.
Oh,
How
yeah.
long have we
That was
been
about
at this?
2
What are we at now?
hours-ish.
Yeah, we're a little over hour 40.
Hour 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we got more time available, we'll do a 3-hour podcast.
Uh huh.
Yeah, I want to talk more movies. I'll probably say maybe movies for like my podcast.
Oh yeah, we'll
Yeah.
have like 3 hours.
I got to get that going soon. But-
If, listeners, keep your eyes out for Paul's podcast. Doesn't
Yep.
have a name yet, but
I'm thinking about going with the name of your opinion here, and then like ... or like an underscore.
all right. No,
somewhere
no
along that
one
line.
steal that until he makes that YouTube profile.
Right before you launch that, we'll have you back on.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Paul, thanks
Yeah.
everyone. Thanks for listening.